I already knew this was going to happen.
What's no backpacks, purse is fine. Okay. Okay. Signs are okay. Recording devices are okay. Wheelchairs, keys, all the other mobility devices are connected. Slide over the backside. It's early for us, so still need our caffeine. Still water fine. So, nope. Hey y'all. No backpacks. No backpacks, purses are fine, recording devices are fine, that sort of thing. No open containers, sealed water is fine. Okay? Purses are fine. They should start letting us in. The woo-woos are here.
Because you know they're only going to have 5% parking for seniors. It could be 20%.
Like that and stuff, so.
It's a little early for everybody. Well.
Oh, no, you're okay. I'm just trying to kind of move out of the way.
Sunday, so we try and stay away.
Well, I'm local, independent, so this goes live out to like different social media platforms. Oh, okay. At the same time, so that's why I'm trying to set up bets right now. Okay. That's one I independent.
Gather up.
You're part of the
Me?
Yeah. No, I just independent.
Yeah.
So did Patty go in?
Right, hey you guys, I'm Audra Morgan, Eye of the Storm. I'm here at San Diego Sports Arena, well, Pechanga Arena, and we are at the north entrance here where Akilah Weber Pearson is going to be talking to the community about a Midway Rising project that's going to be on this site. which there has been a lot of controversy about. So I'm here with San Diego United Communities to stand against this project. It's well, you'll hear. I'm going to go around and talk to some people before we go in, but just stay tuned. This is going to be very interesting. They've already been, kind of harassing the people here. So I'll go ahead and start talking to some people, so you're going to get an idea of, why people are so upset. Some of it was mentioned yesterday. So here we go.
We need signs. Guys, come on, get up here. Thank you. And squish it together, if you will. Hold the tall signs up over somebody's head. Yeah. Patty, Dizzy, Brooks, get your sign. Hold it up.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I need a sign.
Here, how about Ms. Maddox talking again?
We're gonna miss you if you don't. All right, hands up. Are you guys ready? Yes. Are you gonna smile for me? Hey, Midway sinking.
Midway sinking.
What are we doing here today, Pamela?
Oh, are we interviewing me?
I don't know. I know I just stuck in your face. I'm sorry.
If you want to,
Yeah,
I
please.
could
I do,
interview.
yeah.
What we're doing here today, my name is Pamela Beagle.
Yes.
I am with adubonus.org. And what we're doing here today is we are protesting Midway Rising. And the reason we are protesting it is because it's going above our 30-foot coastal height limit, and that's not just for San Diego. That is for the entire state of California. If this bill, SB 958, passes, which our California Senator Weber Pearson has introduced into the Assembly, then all of California will lose all of their environmental benefits from CEQA, and they will lose their 30-foot height limit forever. But other than that, there's no reason for us to be here.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Oh, tell people where they can find out more information from you.
If you want more information about this, please go to adubonus.org. We have a lot on our website about the housing density issues, more than just ADU bonus. We have the city program of complete communities and also the city program of homes for all of us. So you can join our email group. You can unsubscribe at any time. We do not spam, but we do let you know what is happening with the housing issues throughout San Diego.
Yes, I encourage people to join that. Thank you.
Media.
Hello, would you like to say anything? Why are you here today?
It's awful. Now, have they done one traffic
I'm a 30-year coastal activist, so I do this full time.
You do? That's great. What is upsetting about this project?
Am I being taped?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you said me. Yeah. Do you not want to be? Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
They got this pushed through, and it's
I thought you wanted because you were saying me.
Well,
I get it.
I'm suing, so
Oh,
my lawyer usually says,
right. Yeah. No, I get you.
For the EIR,
Better safe than
and also
sorry.
environmental
You know what I mean?
I got a big
The
mouth.
Save Access, those guys rebuilt the Riverwalk, and they wanted this to be an extension of it, so they did all the testing themselves. This is all
riverbed. It's all water.
Well, you're that close to it, so
So they're gonna have so many issues if they build us, and then they're gonna kick themselves and blame like the people that we allowed this.
I already heard they were going to take away some of it because if there was a...
You want to talk?
Sure.
Yeah. You tell us who you are and who you're with.
Hi, I'm Margaret Brissimo with San Diego United Communities. We're a group of neighborhoods standing and protecting for what's right here in San Diego. It's been a battle. We've been to the city council on many multiple occasions, and we're still not being heard. Perfect example today. We show up to a public forum where we're supposed to come express our concerns and let these guys know, the developers and also the senator, of how we feel. Immediately we were shut down. We didn't let that happen because it's a public forum. Now, because we pushed back, they're allowing us to bring our signs. They're allowing us to come in and speak. But I can guarantee you, and see here, this is what they do. They pay these people. They pay these union workers to come talk. To support the project. Guarantee none of these people live here, and that's the problem. None of these people live here. That's right. And that's the problem.
Where's the bus?
These people live here.
Where's the bus is the question. You know
All
what I mean?
that. There's so many issues.
On the other side.
There's so many issues. I dare the news to go interview these people and ask where they live. I bet you it's way, and I'm assuming this, way far away from this area. They will not be impacted. Right. The people in these surrounding neighborhoods, and I'm not just saying Point Loma, you're talking the beaches, you're talking PB, Mission Beach, Ocean Beach, you're talking all the way to Chula Vista, will be impacted because the traffic's already building now all day. So imagine that.
4,000 cars on the road. People have a love affair with their cars. We're not giving up our cars.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's what they want. They don't want anybody driving, you know? They don't.
They're assuming that everybody's going to be on public transportation when our public transportation is broke. We don't have the funds to add more buses, to add more transportation. It's a pipe dream that these politicians are having, and this project is one of the largest in San Diego money grab backdoor deals that you can possibly get. And I'm saying that because both measures failed in court after they were pushed through Mayor Todd Gloria and Jennifer Campbell, and developers on this project, there's been 3 of them that have backed out. Isn't that a red flag?
Do you know why they backed out?
They just don't want to deal with the funding that it's going to cost and the issues, the reality of the problems that this project will have. And San Diegans will keep these developers accountable.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
What else? Do you have anything else you want to add?
I will in a bit. Let me grab my thoughts together.
Would you like to say anything? No? Do you would? Yeah, please. Let's do it. Tell us your name if you want.
Kathy Blavin.
Okay.
Okay. I'm here at the sports arena with a lot of people who are worried about what's going on here. You've got liquefaction here. I've looked at the maps where it's got earthquake faults. A friend of mine that they named the glacier after, who works at UCSD and Scripps, she's talking about the water's going to be coming up through here. This was swampland originally. There's also a toxic dump that one of the city people exposed that's here. And so it just goes on, and the traffic problem's going to be enormous.
It's already bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
It's like, imagine.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't, to me, you've got a mayor who got extra money funding, and he picked that group. And then we've got people that are, pushing to, I'm sorry, anyhow, they're not wanting to do environmentals here, which is interesting because here Trump is getting rid of all the environmentals, and you have these Dems who are sitting here and allowing this to happen. And the environmental here, that's why the developer doesn't want to see this done, because the environmentals, plus it's a billionaire. So you've got the same thing that Trump is doing, the Democrats are doing here. And it's really bad because they're getting rid of environmental, they're doing inside deals, and they're working with a billionaire. So it's the same thing. And yet this really should not be built on. It's really dangerous, at least, and they over doubled what they said was on the ballot. And that's this thing of them changing the ballot all the time is really bad.
Right.
So that's just a few.
It shows distrust, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're horrible.
Let's wait till they.
Save our community! Save our community! Save our community! Save our community! Midway sinking! 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 It's not safe! 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 Save our community! 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 Save our community!
Oh, be careful, girl.
Save our community! Save our community! Save our community! Save our community! Save our community!
Would you like to say something?
Sure.
Yeah, please. Tell us who you are and why you're here.
I'm Raul Rodriguez. I'm a resident of Point Loma, and the reason why I'm here is this whole development is not safe. CEQA has to be looked at, and first and foremost, this development will sink over time. It will sink over time. It happened in Miami. It happens in all coastal cities, and they're going to create San Diego the same way. So we need to stop this.
Thank you so much. Luckily, that's nice.
Why were we singled out for security chief?
Too much light. There's too much light. They got to check it and dim
Is that what it is?
You know what I mean?
They got to read
This
them.
device. What is
See,
this
the age of
device?
AI gets suspicious with
I know AI's
when
determining.
authority does anything.
AI's determining.
I try to go, were they tipped by
Yeah.
some algorithm or something?
Yep.
How you doing, guy?
Good, how are you?
What do you need?
Cell phone, wallet, keys.
That's all I got.
No cell phone?
No sir.
That'll set it up.
I mean.
Can you go through with that?
Can you just wand me?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I have your Lisa?
Well,
Yeah, he's not actually on the radio. We call Margaret.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm still on that. I'm having a sugar?
Oh my goodness. It's like, talk about ridiculous. Dang it, hopefully I don't lose service.
Doing nice inside.
Oh, here it is. There's your answer. $3.9 billion investment in the future of SD. Your 15-minute city communities.
With staff.
This is what you could look forward to, a box. Someone in a box. That's gonna sink.
Like he's the one that brought me in here. So we can't touch him. I'm not saying I'm not touching him.
But, you know, you won't get to have a car to be able to get out. It'll be fine. It'll just envelop you like quicksand. There's your public transit. Wondering where the roller coasters are. Walking around, everybody's getting their exercise. And this is the layout. In Austin. This was the last one. This is Snapdragon. We have some good LED lights in there.
Why? Was this meeting yesterday had to leave?
It was good. Yeah, it was great. So a lot of people were. When did you leave?
I left after. I'm trying to think who was the speaker I left at.
Like one on the panel? Yeah. So then people in the community spoke after that, after they had finished. So that was nice to hear people's concerns. You know. Would you like to share anything?
Just my.
Yeah. Let's see. Senator Weber, would you treat a patient without first studying the risk? Your answer should be no. Then why would you remove any environmental reviews that studies the risks to our community? Do no harm, vote no on SB 958. Nice, thank you. Oh yes, and you took an oath to do no harm as well, right? Yeah, exactly. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're here.
I appreciate everything that you do. I always see you at City.
Thank you.
So I appreciate your stuff.
I appreciate
You
that.
have a lot of really excellent points when you do talk.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What are these? This is the way you can drive or walk. I mean, I guess if you're not driving, doesn't really matter which way. And are those parking structures?
Yeah.
What? Or just spots? Whatever, we'll see. Away from this? I know, but I meant this is on. So do you want me to turn it off, or
Please.
can we go over here?
No,
I'm going to leave it on.
I just didn't want him to go over here.
Oh, okay. But this is live, so.
Oh, okay.
So let me come over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I need to put it down. I'm like keeping people at a distance. You know what I mean?
Social distance.
Stay back.
It's working.
Hi.
Get seated.
So we got another little project we're starting to work on. Yeah. If you want to be involved.
Good morning. Welcome in.
Absolutely.
Please get seated.
So the park department, they're proposing a bunch of schools down this winter.
Yeah.
And it's affecting all the high schools.
Yeah. I'd love to.
And we got kids in water polo. We're just discussing at the team meeting. Boys will be okay, it looks like, with the girls water polo and the swim teams because it's so shut down over the winter. Like literally, Patrick Henry is going to have to drive to UC to use the pool along with Claremont and Missionville and UC.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll
So I'm
give
gonna be
you a phone number
talking.
before we
Yeah,
do the-
I'll be talking to Margaret. We're ready to get something set up. But I'm trying to get all the schools together. They'll show up in their uniforms and stop fucking over.
Seriously. Right.
It's something nobody knows about. It's like hidden.
Yes. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am Senator Dr. Sheila Weber Pearson, representing the 39th Senate District.
Boo! Boo!
I respect all opinions. Well, I want to thank you all so much for taking your time to come out and have this community conversation with us on this very early Sunday morning. And I appreciate all of the sacrifices that people have made to be here. This is an incredibly busy time, and I'd like to thank my staff for their work to pull this all together and in a very, very short time. I also want to thank the Pechanga Arena General Manager for accommodating us for today's community conversation. I want to thank the Midway Rising Development Team and the representatives from the Mayor's Office for making time to attend and to answer any questions that you all may have or any comments that you may have concerning this project. I do want to mention that I did invite the mayor, but he was unable to attend. So before we get started, I want to just put a few housekeeping notes. Please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. Now, I have been very accommodating so far, but this is going to be a productive conversation. And that means that even though we may disagree, we should always be respectful of each other. So in order to ensure a productive conversation, we will not permit any conduct, any further conduct that disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of our community conversation.
That just sounds like
We should be able to come together
city council meeting.
as a community. We should be able to have conversations together as a community, even if we may not see things the same way. But at the end of the day, we should all respect the fact that we are here, that we live here together in this community, and that we may have different opinions. And so I am asking for that, and if we don't get that, then you will have to be removed. Today's conversation is specifically about the Midway Rising project. As a senator that represents this area, it is important to me that we offer the opportunity to have community conversation about this new development. The Midway Rising project proposals represent a significant opportunity to bring new investment, jobs, and economic benefits to an area that has been underutilized for far too long. The proposal would deliver much-needed affordable housing, along with a new sports arena to replace Pechanga Arena, where we are in today, and a range of improvements to the surrounding site. Redeveloping this area is long-standing property can create construction and permanent jobs that create new opportunities for local businesses, increase economic activity, and provide San Diego with a more productive neighborhood. Now, this is a site that has been a part of San Diego for generations. I remember when I was in elementary for my first concert, the Janet Jackson concert. And so this has been a part of the San Diego community for a very, very long time. And I believe that there is a real opportunity to transform it in a way that benefits residents, workers, businesses, and the broader regional economy. But at the same time, I do want to acknowledge the concerns that have been raised about the project. In particular, we do need to take a careful look at the environmental review to ensure that growth and redevelopment does not cause harm in the long run. I think we all want to see this area grow, create meaningful economic and employment opportunities, address our housing needs, strengthen our local businesses, while we also identify and mitigate potential impacts, both in the near and long term. And this is why we are here today, to better understand the project, to hear concerns, and to make sure that any redevelopment ultimately delivers long-lasting benefits for San Diego. So you will hear directly from the development team about the details of the project, including the environmental review process, and you will have a chance to ask your questions specific to the project details. We want this to be a learning opportunity for all of us to come to learn and to talk about it. And with that, I will now turn it over to the Midway Rising development team to review the details of the project with you. Thank you. I was very serious about this being a respectful conversation. Many of you have been contacting and wanting this for a very long time. We will not tolerate any further boos, hissing, or anything like that. And again, if that happens, you will be removed. Thank you.
Good morning, folks. My name is Sheldon Jordan II with the group called Legends Global, part of the Midway Rising development team. We've got a wonderful morning planned out here for the dialogue that the Senator just spoke about. We look forward to engaging with you as we have been doing for these past several years and listening to what you have to say, as well as sharing the vision that we have for the project Midway Rising. So with that in mind, before we dive into things, just want to give you an overview of what you can expect today. For about the next 15 minutes, our project team will give you an update on what the project is, and from there, we'll then go into a 15-minute dialogue about some of the key project elements related to environmental impact report, traffic, transportation, and mobility. Thereafter, we're going to open this up for a 30-minute Q&A, in which we ask everyone to be respectful of everyone's questions and comments, give everyone about a minute of time to come up to the microphone here on my left, your right, to ask the questions that you might have about the project. Thereafter, we're going to break into what we call an open house format. You'll see various stations behind you about various elements of the projects that if you have questions, comments, or you're interested in learning more about, you can go to each one of those stations to speak with representatives from our project team. That being said, a couple of other housekeeping items. If you do need a restroom, directly to my right and behind your left at the exit sign there are restrooms. And again, we look forward to a very exciting, positive dialogue today as we talk more about the project, but of equal importance, listen to what you have to say about it as well. So with that, we'll do some brief introductions of our project team.
Hi, good morning. Everyone hear me okay? Diego Velasco. I am part of the project team helping with the specific plan component.
Is this on? Hi, I'm Ryan Binns, Vice President of Environmental Planning Compliance with Harrison Associates.
My name is Amy Rastelli. I'm with Kimley Horn, and I'm responsible for the transportation planning.
Good morning. My name is Ryan Harrell. I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Zephyr, a development partner in Midway Rising.
So real quick, we'd like to give you an introduction to who our project team is. The same project team that has been championing our vision for the past 4 years. We're represented by 4 key groups. Chelsea, a local San Diego-based affordable housing developer that has done tremendous work throughout the community, not only here in San Diego, but throughout all of California. Legends Global, the company that I represent, we are a sports and entertainment operator. Very excited to not only be proud about operating this venue, the Changa Arena, with its rich history in this community, but very excited to be putting forth the vision for a new entertainment center here to support San Diego. Zephyr, who Ryan is a part of, a local San Diego developer that has done tremendous work in the market rate-based housing industry. And last but not least, the Kroenke Group, the real estate arm of the Kroenke organization responsible for various developments throughout the United States, most notably Hollywood Park, where SoFi Stadium exists. So we've been on a journey, to say the least, for these past several years with the vision that we've had here for the Midway Rising project. There's been various milestones that I want to make sure I touch on so that you can understand this project just wasn't conceived overnight, and we're definitely going to talk about the history that even predates our involvement in this project with the community plan that was put in place several years ago. But high level, in December of 2022, we executed an exclusive negotiating agreement with the City of San Diego that spelled out the various rules that our development team needed to abide by as we move forward with our project's vision. We conducted various site due diligence and environmental analysis in that time frame thereafter. And we released our draft environmental impact report in March of 2025. The next key milestone is very important. The Midway Pacific Community Highway Planning Group unanimously recommended our project to move forward. That is the group that had the vision not only just for this site, but the entire district with the community plan that they put together in 2018. We were very proud to receive their support. It was very instrumental to us moving forward with this project. Thereafter, we went in front of the Planning Commission and received unanimous approval for our project. And that leads into the next steps that will happen later on this year, where we'll be in front of City Council, the Land Housing Commission, as well as the entire City Council, looking for their approval of the project. And then, flash forward from there, we'll move forward into the next steps of the project, which are continuing to work on the various planning efforts, including our enhanced infrastructure financing district, and thereafter leading into groundbreaking of the project. Very similar to what we're doing here today, we've been very intentional over these past 4 years about making sure we were spending time in the community. So what does that mean? We've conducted over 70 different workshops, meetings, and presentations over the last 4 years, engaging with the community. There are various faces that I see here in the crowd that have been at some of those workshops and meetings and presentations before. We've gone in front of City Council for 9 informational updates. We conducted 10 informational workshops in every City Council district throughout San Diego. The reason why we went to every district is we believe Midway Rising was a project that represented San Diego on a whole. But we wanted to make sure that we were in front of the public, sharing our vision and what we wanted to move forward with. And more importantly, we've been in front of the community planning group each month over these past several years, working to make sure that they understood what we were trying to accomplish and making sure that we were doing it in line with the vision of the community planning group. With that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Diego right now to give you a little more specifics on some of those efforts related to the planning group and the vision that they had in 2018 and how our development hopefully builds on that vision.
Okay, great. Thank you, Shelby. Good morning, everyone. So what we have here is a view of the site. So just a little over 49 acres. You're all quite familiar with the area that we're sitting in today. This arena, which is quite old, surrounded by a sea of parking and asphalt, commercial uses and other industrial uses. What's really exciting is that we see this as a way of implementing a vision that came forward in 2018 as part of the Midway Pacific Highway Community Plan. That plan envisions this area to be transformed into a community village as a vibrant transit and pedestrian-oriented entertainment area. It encourages a mix of those entertainment uses along with residential, commercial, and public parks. As you can see, 2 parks were envisioned to be a part of the community plan, and we are bringing that forward. The community plan also required 2 streets to go through, Kemper and Frontier, to try to reconnect the grid and improve connectivity in the area. And the community plan also called for a specific plan to be created, and that's what we're here to talk about today. This is a view of the project as proposed today. We have over almost $4 billion in investment in the future of San Diego, with a 16,000-seat arena, brand new, state-of-the-art, 4,254 residential units, of which 2,000 will be affordable, over 14 acres of parks, implementing the community plan vision to provide those parks and open spaces, and 130,000 square feet of commercial. The team commissioned the San Diego Regional EDC to do an economic study to see what the impacts of the project would be to the local economy and the regional economy. This is a transformative project bringing 8 acres or more than 8 acres of new parks with the Sports Arena Green and the Sports Arena Square, and about 6 acres or more of open space in an area that currently lacks open space in parks. It also brings 172% more housing units in an area with a low supply and aging housing stock, of which, as I mentioned, 2,000 are affordable units in an area with 56% lower median income households incomes than the city average, and up to 1,100 or more new permanent jobs that will be brought to the area. This is a significant economic impact on the construction side, almost $100 million in local tax revenue, $1.6 billion in wages, $3 billion contribution to the GDP. The net annual impacts are around 1,500 new permanent jobs, $78 million in new annual wages, and $178 million in new value added to the local economy. It's worth mentioning this is more annual economic activity than Comic-Con, Bio, and Esri conferences combined. Amount of economic impact. I think now I turn it over to Ryan to show some of the renderings and ideas for the site.
All right, here we go. Again, I appreciate everyone out here on this warm Sunday morning. I myself am a second-generation San Diegan. Both my parents graduated from Point Loma. I had the honor of graduating from UCSD. And, you know, it is about giving back to our communities. I'm excited about this rendering right here because this park, the Green, a community gathering space, will be located exactly where we're sitting and standing right now, here where the current sports arena is. This will be a very valuable community amenity for everyone to gather on a nice warm Sunday like this, not inside but outdoors. The square, one of the other public open spaces and parks located right at the front of the new entertainment center, will be another great gathering places for families and those coming for events to gather before the event begins. Thanks for those whistles, I appreciate it. And finally, the plaza, a retail shopping area. This is where my daughter would be hanging out, strolling, going to restaurants, and shopping. Another great community benefit to allow people to live and shop and eat all in the same place. Let's talk housing. We have a housing shortage. We have an affordable housing shortage. Okay. See, there's common ground where we can all agree. That's what we're here to address, to provide over 2,000 affordable units here to provide workforce housing, to provide housing for veterans, families, seniors, and the homeless, all on this site. Park space, over 14.5 acres, as Diego was saying, over 14.5 acres that don't currently exist today, enlivening our communities and creating new spaces to gather, to interact with each other. Something that's very important to me, especially in this digital age, human-to-human contact, gathering together, sharing ideas, sharing time with each other and friends. And the investment in infrastructure, right? You know, as we know, the city has quite a budget challenge right now to do infrastructure projects. So we will be investing over $300 million in new infrastructure that's addressing 7 major to improve them to what their current standards are today, to create more efficiency this with our signalization, with lane changing, and part of that plan also is how we're dispersing the parking garages throughout the site, but I won't step too much on what Amy will be saying in a bit.
So we have the fun joy of being in the Pechanga Arena today, and I'm fairly confident nearly everyone here in this audience has a story about seeing an event here, whether it's a sport event or a show or a concert. There's a rich history in the 60 years that this building has held those events in, and very proud of some of the people that I work with on a daily basis for the great job that they do here in this arena. That being said, I did say this building is 60 years old. The ramp, the loading dock there, was used in the movie Almost Famous, which was set in a time 60 plus years ago where they were basically showcasing venues and concerts and etc. So when they looked for a place to film that movie, that modern day movie, they picked this facility because it's still dated from that point in time. San Diego deserves better. San Diego deserves a world-class event place that concerts, shows, and sports can take place in, that you can bring your families to, that your kids can have their own stories about seeing their first concert, their first act in. So our vision includes a brand new modern entertainment center that will be a home for the existing teams that we have here, but more importantly, a new venue that helps attract the talent that San Diego deserves to come and watch. There's no reason for everyone to get on a plane and fly to Las Vegas or drive up to Los Angeles to go see a show. You should be able to see it in your own backyard. The other thing that our project team is very, very proud of is the commitment that we are making to the community. And that commitment, we've really found that there were 3 key elements that the community was looking for from a support perspective. Beyond the affordable housing, beyond addressing some of the infrastructure challenges that exist here in this district. There's a vacuum when it comes to childcare. Safe, affordable, accessible childcare should be something that our constituents, our citizens have access to. And we are committed to creating those types of programs. We have partnered with the Ryan YMCA here in the Point Loma area, not only on the basis of leveraging their facilities, but developing facilities within the Midway Rising campus to support the people that work here and that live here, knowing that they will not have to worry about finding a great place for their child to go before or after school while they're working their job on a daily basis. We're also very keen on healthcare and wellness and making sure that we're creating facilities that San Diegans can access for the betterment of their health. So to that end, we partnered with Sharp to develop healthcare facilities here in the Midway Rising project, as well as being able to access their network for the people that work here and live here as well. And lastly, job training. It is critical that we are creating opportunities for the youth in our city, but more importantly, individuals that are looking to better themselves on a daily basis. So we are proud to have partnered with various different labor organizations. We're very proud to have earned their support and their trust. More importantly, we're looking forward to implementing programs that allow individuals that want to better themselves on a daily basis to have access to education and training so that they can progress their livelihoods. We've spent time in the community over the past 4 years, and in spending that time with the community, we've heard a wide variety of opinions, we've heard comments, we've heard feedback, just like we're going to hear today. And again, we appreciate that. We've also spent time in the community polling this project, trying to make sure that we understood the pulse of what San Diego on a whole felt about this project moving forward. And overwhelmingly, we believe those results are positive. And that is why we continue to push forward on a daily basis with the vision that we have to deliver this project, not just for the Midway area in San Diego, but San Diego as a whole. And again, when we talk about support, we've been in the community, we've met with groups, we've listened to what they've had to say, we've ingrained elements of those comments into our project. Our project has evolved. What we first started with in 2022 is not what we're sitting here discussing with you today. The feedback that we've heard from people like you, constituents, citizens of San Diego, on all elements of the project have been ingrained within the various project reports that we put together, have been embedded in the design that we are putting forth. Ultimately, we're proud to have earned the trust and the support of these various groups, and we're going to continue to expand on this list here. We want to make sure that we're in the community, listening to what people have to say, and finding opportunities for partnership and collaboration. So again, next steps for our project team. We are hopeful to be in front of City Council later this fall for the project to go through various committee hearings and then ultimately be presented to City Council for its approval. Thereafter, we'll continue to work on the formation of the EIFD, that's the Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District. To the infrastructure elements that Ryan touched on, there is a need to not only improve the infrastructure within the four corners of the site, but the entire Midway district. And that infrastructure financing district acts as an innovative financing tool in a city right now that is challenged to fund some of these activities. This acts as a tool to help upgrade those infrastructure elements throughout this entire district. And then ultimately, we look forward to breaking ground on this project, and we're very excited about these next steps that we're engaging on. That being said, we're going to turn it over to Ryan and Amy, and we're going to talk a little more a bit about the technical elements of the Midway Rising project at this point.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ryan Binns. I'm Vice President of Environmental Planning Compliance with Harrison Associates, and we prepared the environmental document in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act for the proposed project. So the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, requires that state and local agencies disclose and evaluate the significant environmental impacts of proposed projects and adopt all feasible mitigation measures to reduce or eliminate those impacts. CEQA analysis provides the public and decision makers a thorough description of the proposed project and the potential impacts the project will have. It is then up to decision makers of the lead agency, in this case the City of San Diego, to decide whether the project is approved. So, as mentioned earlier in the presentation, the Midway Pacific Highway Community Plan Update and Program Environmental Impact Report, EIR, were adopted in September 2018. The Community Plan Update called for the redevelopment of the San Diego International Sports Arena site and adjacent buildings into a sports arena community village. The Community Plan Update Program, EIR, analyzed the redevelopment of the project site with commercial retail, office, and residential uses both with and without the sports arena. So pursuant to CEQA, the City of San Diego determined that a subsequent EIR, tiering from that 2018 Community Plan Update EIR, was the appropriate CEQA document for the Midway Rising project, as defined in CEQA Guidelines Section 15163, due to the proposed increase in density and change in land use. This means that additional project-specific environmental analysis was required. So to initiate this subsequent EIR process, a notice of preparation was circulated to the public on December 18th, 2023. And then from 2024 to 2025, the draft EIR was prepared. This included an in-depth analysis of all 20 CEQA environmental issue areas, which resulted in preparation of 41 technical appendices and more than 1,000 pages of environmental impact analysis. Pursuant to CEQA requirements, the subsequent EIR was released for a 45-day public review in March 2025. The city received 58 comment letters, and the team prepared detailed responses to every letter. Comprehensive findings and a statement of overriding considerations were prepared, and the subsequent EIR was taken to the Planning Commission in September 2025. The subsequent EIR is now waiting for City Council review and decision. So these next slides give a high-level review of the EIR findings. As mentioned, CEQA requires analysis of 20 different environmental issue areas, including, I'm going to read these off now, aesthetics, agriculture and forestry resources, air quality, biological resources, cultural resources, energy, geology and soils, greenhouse gas emissions, hazards and hazardous materials, hydrology and water quality, land use and planning, mineral resources, noise, population and housing, public services, recreation, transportation, tribal cultural resources, utilities and service systems, and wildfire. Each of these issue areas were analyzed in the subsequent EIR with a range of analysis and findings from no impact, as you can see here, less than significant impacts, which there are several, less than significant impacts with mitigation incorporated, and significant and unavoidable impacts. So as previously stated, the thorough analysis of the subsequent EIR was made available for public review and comment. The comment letters were received. The comment letters received were reviewed, and detailed responses to each comment letter were prepared, and the final subsequent EIR was submitted to the city for review. The Planning Commission approved the subsequent EIR in September 2025, and is now awaiting a final decision from the City Council. So, environmental issues requiring mitigation for significant impact include land use, transportation and circulation, historical and tribal cultural resources, noise, health and safety, and air quality. Furthermore, a statement of overriding considerations would be required for significant and unavoidable impacts, even with the application of all feasible mitigation measures for land use, transportation and circulation, historical and tribal cultural resources, and noise. So pursuant to CEQA, a statement of overriding considerations is required to balance, as applicable, the economic, legal, social, technological, or other benefits, including region-wide or statewide benefits of a proposed project against its unavoidable significant environmental impacts when determining whether to approve the project. So because the project includes significant and unavoidable impacts, a statement of overriding considerations was prepared. Each of the benefits of the project described on this slide is determined to be a separate basis for overriding all potential unavoidable significant environmental impacts, independent of the other project benefits. So any of the reasons set forth is sufficient to justify approval of the project. These benefits include revitalizing the Midway Pacific Highway Community Planning Area, helping the city meet its affordable housing goals, implementing the city's sustainability and climate action goals, providing a modern entertainment center for cultural, sporting, and civic events, promoting multimodal travel and mobility infrastructure investments, and providing employment and economic benefits. Ultimately, it's up to the City Council to determine if these project benefits outweigh the project impacts. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Amy to talk about transportation.
Thank you. Talking about transportation, so we used the community plan update that was mentioned earlier as a starting point. We built on that with site-specific transportation needs, so answering the question of how do people want to access this site, How can we unlock other modes of transportation? How can we unlock the Old Town Transit Center that's half a mile away and really provide access to the rest of the regional transit network? How should each mode interact with each other on the site and to the site? And how can we cater to the needs of all ages and abilities of people who want to use this site? So thinking about the existing distribution on the site, you probably are all thinking, well, it's congested on event day, and that's true. But that's a result of a lack of strategic planning that we will be planning to implement. So today, you can see that 70% of people going to an event use one single intersection, El Camino and Sports Arena Boulevard. And so 70% of people going to this site are just putting it in Google Maps and taking you to the first place that it tells you to go. And that's to that main intersection that's already congested. And then 80% of event goers are using 2 access points on Sports Arena Boulevard. So yes, it is congested. In the future though, there will be new strategies in place for all transportation, but specifically on event days, I want to talk about that plan, which is to assign parking garages at the ticket point of sale. And so basically when you buy a ticket to an event, you'll be able to choose a parking garage. You'll know where that parking garage is located. You'll be assigned a route to that parking garage, and those routes will be strategically recommended for you in order to distribute and diffuse the parking across the entire site, not just using that singular intersection, and in fact, avoiding that intersection at all costs. So we're providing different routes to the site, and all of these together will alleviate that existing concern of demand being concentrated in one specific time in one specific place. Additionally, walking, biking, and transit will be easily accessible and well accommodated. High-quality bike facilities will be provided. I'll show some pictures of what that could look like on the next slide, but these will be Class 1 and Class 4 facilities on the site and to the site. So we'll be, as I mentioned, unlocking that access to Old Town Transit Center with a nice, wide, comfortable off-street path that families can feel comfortable using to access this site. And in terms of transit, in addition to the 2 local routes that already run between Old Town and here, there will also be a new rapid route in the future, and that just means basically more frequent headways or timing and also less stops, so basically getting you here quicker. There will also be a daily shuttle implemented between Old Town and the site, enhanced bus stops, and bus-only lanes to make sure that the transit vehicles and the shuttles are not being in the general purpose travel lanes and having immediate access to the site. All of these improvements provide choices for residents and visitors to choose how they want to get around. These are the potential pictures of what those Class 1 and Class 4 bikeways could look like. On the left side, you can see the facility that would run along Kurt Street and also to Old Town Transit Center. On the right side, you can see what will be happening on Kemper and Frontier, the 2 internal roadways that Diego mentioned earlier, as well as Sports Arena Boulevard. So today, yes, there are bike lanes on Sports Arena Boulevard, but it's not made for all ages and abilities. It's next to high-speed, high-volume traffic, and it's not meant for all ages and abilities. For the roadway network, we'll be making various capacity increasing transportation improvements to the intersections, specifically those 2 major intersections that you all know as being congested today. These designs have been collaboratively developed with the city, and there will be also 2 north-south roadways, as Diego mentioned earlier, to create more of a grid system and provide more options. And then in terms of parking, we've got just over 7,000 parking spaces on the site. This has been right-sized in order to make sure that there's not a sea of parking that's being underutilized half the time of the year like there is today. There's an opportunity to truly go car-free if you want to when you're living in this neighborhood. And the residential parking will be over 4,000 parking spaces. As well as providing long-term bike parking. Again, if you wanted to do car-free or 1-car household, that's an opportunity that it's accommodated on this site. In terms of parking that Ryan mentioned earlier, in terms of distribution, it's really tied to the mixed-use nature of this site, providing distributed access across the site evenly. Those event garages are located in different spots in the purple stars, and then for residential parking and retail parking, that's distributed so that you don't have to travel far into the site. You can get off of Sports Arena Boulevard or Kirk Street and have access right into a parking space. In summary, today, there are no quality bike facilities. There's no safe multimodal connection to Old Town. There's lengthy headways for using transit. There's two land uses today that create that concentrated demand to the site. There's massive sea of parking lots and asphalt, and there's a singular route to the site. In the future, there will be high quality bike facilities, shared use path connection to Old Town, less than 10-minute, really closer to 5-minute headways for transit access, mixed land uses that complement each other and distribute traffic throughout the day. The parking will be hidden and not visible to the eye, and there will be multiple distributed routes. So this transportation piece is really about choices. There are few choices today, and those choices are really focused on the moving vehicles. And in the future, there will be many choices for people, and they will be focused on moving people, not just vehicles. At its core, it's about choice, and there needs to be more ways to travel, more ways to connect, and more opportunities to create a vibrant and accessible community that people feel truly a part of and proud of. Thank you.
All right, folks, so with that, we're going to move into the Q&A of today's presentation. As I shared earlier, we've got a microphone set up on your right. I would ask that we create an orderly line there for individuals that do have questions or comments about the project. I would also ask, in reinforcing what the Senator shared earlier, this is going to be a respectful dialogue, whether you're in approval or opposition of the project. We would ask that the dialogue be respectful, that we listen to what other people have to say here this morning, that we allow them to speak, and we do not interrupt them. And we, as the project team, will do our best to answer those questions or comments that are presented here this morning. Given the long line that's forming, we're going to try to make sure that we move through this quickly so that everyone does have an opportunity to potentially ask that question or give that comment. And again, thereafter, we will have workshop settings in an open house format where you can continue your dialogue with our project team this morning. So we're going to limit it right now to 30 seconds given the long line that's now forming. But again, we want to make sure we're creating opportunities for listening to you now as well as in the open house format thereafter. So with that, let's get started.
My name is Kathy Kenton. I am the chair of the Midway Pacific Highway Community Planning Group. We have worked together with the Midway Rising team for nearly 4 years now to bring this project to fruition. This project is pivotal to the community. It is pivotal to start the change that we envisioned when we approved the 2018 Community Plan update. Thank you.
I'm Clifford Weiler. I live in Mission Hills, 1978. I'm going to use my 30 seconds to speak to about the people that don't come to these meetings, about the affordable housing, which is a misnomer anyway. There are various ways that developers circumvent the affordable housing, even though they say they're going to provide affordable housing. Are you going to implement those, or are you going to really provide for affordable housing for these people? And what happens if the people make too much money after they move in? Thank you.
I'll go ahead and address that question. Yes, we are providing 2,000 affordable housing units on this site. It is a contractual lease requirement with the city. This property is owned by the lease. The development team of Midway Rising is entering into a binding agreement for a ground lease and to develop this site. And part of that agreement is 2,000 units. And part of that is that affordable housing units begin at the very beginning of vertical construction with the arena and continue with market rate and parks as the site is built out.
Thank you.
How's it going? My name's Dan Goodman. I'm with IATSE 122. In a lot of ways, this place is my home. I work here throughout the year. On behalf of my union brothers and sisters, I want to thank all of you for your years-long effort to get Midway Rising approved, because it will create thousands of high-quality jobs for us. How soon can we break ground on this project?
So per the milestones we were talking about, there are still various steps that we need to engage on, more notably going in front of City Council for their approval hopefully this fall. Thereafter, we will be engaged in not only the formation of that EIFD to address the infrastructure deficiencies that we have, but we will begin the design and permitting process with the city. The goal is to hopefully be shovel ready in sometime in 2027, but just like we have thoughtfully been through this process on the last 4 years, we will continue to be thoughtful, work collaboratively with the city to work towards that goal. We're not looking to shortcut anything. We're not looking to ask for any favors or bend any rules. We're looking to comply with all the regulations that are in place within the city and work collaboratively with city to deliver this project.
Thank you.
My name is Rusty Meyer, and I'm also with the Local 122, and I'm here to show my support for IATSE and the Midway project. I have no questions. I'm just here to thank you for all your work.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Shelby. Thank you, Midway Rising. My name is Fernanda Flores, and I'm the political director with IATSE Local 122. We represent 1,500 stagehands in both San Diego and Coachella Valley. We have stood with you since the beginning. We will continue to stand by you. This project, as you have heard, as you have explained, not only benefits workers, San Diegans that live and reside here, but the communities. Is there anything that we can do to continue to support you, and in what ways? Thank you.
I would say very similar to the forum that we're sitting here today, we would continue to ask San Diegans to continue to show up, to participate in the process, to express your opinion on the project. Again, whether you like it or not. This is the intent of today, as well as all the previous meetings and the future meetings, is to engage with the public and to listen. And that's what we consider very instrumental to the success of this project.
Hello everyone, my name is Javier Santizo, and I want to start by saying thank you to the board for your commitment to responsible contracting. And as a union partner, you know, the men and women that build the city, it's not only about building and solid wages, but as a father of three, you know, I start to begin, what does a project like this do for my two boys? They're 15 years old, and my daughter at the time. I have two nieces that are they're leaving to the state of Arizona, so I want to know what this brings to the future of my kids.
Yeah, I mean, this project brings so much to the next generation. That's what we're excited about. I too have a teenage daughter, and you know, park. Right now, I mean, we've all driven around the site. We're all here. We all know the current state of it, right? And this isn't someplace other than a concert night that I bring my family. We're looking to change that. A state-of-the-art entertainment center that we're proud that is fulfilling and fitting of the U.S.'s 8th largest city, right? 14.5 acres of new publicly accessible parks, and again, much needed housing, affordable housing, so that everyone has an opportunity to live here in a great community.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Ian Brooms. I live in District 2 as well as Senate District 39. I strongly support the construction of Midway Rising because it contributes to our citywide goals. I think we can agree that this arena is pretty outdated, right? Well, this Midway Rising project is going to fully reconstruct the sports arena to finally give us the world-class sports and entertainment facility that we deserve. That rebuilds our infrastructure, and so that's really great. It also improves our environment by building brand new parks, as well as upgrades our infrastructure by building new roads. Please build this project because it will help our community thrive. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Derek Lloyd. I'm a previous member of the Midway Pacific Planning Committee. I was one of the members that voted in approval for a recommendation. I also reviewed the environmental report, provided comments on it. One thing I was hoping that you could elaborate on is the buses a little bit more, and specifically the buses, the planned shuttles for events and sharing parking lots with areas outside of the sports arena area.
Yeah, so are you talking about just specifically the shuttles? So as part of the VMT study, the mitigation for mitigating the impact is to provide a daily retail shuttle. That'll run between Old Town Transit Center and it'll stop on Frontier Street, which is right in front of the retail. And that'll be daily from, I believe I have to check my numbers and you can come see me, but I think it's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it'll be 10-minute headways between the shuttles. So it'll basically be just making a loop between the site and the shuttle. So it won't have to park, it'll stop in a loading zone on Frontier. Does that answer your question?
He had two questions. Free?
Yes, free.
What about the shared parking?
Hi, good morning. I'm Lori Saldana. I'm a lifetime San Diegan, retired union carpenter and union teacher, and a recovering politician who represented this community. So even though I know we shouldn't get into a discussion with people paid to disagree with us, how much have you budgeted for groundwater pumping 77 days a week, 24 hours a day, as the convention center is doing and increasing the volume flows? How much have you budgeted for groundwater pumping in your underground substructures, parking garages, and other facilities? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that question. There is a high groundwater table here at the site. And so part of our construction plan and our geological analysis that I hope you have time to review, it is online, is to actually raise the site. So we're lifting up the site. We are not going subterranean with our parking garages. Our parking garages are above grade, again, because there is a high water table here. And then, sorry, there was another point to your question. Oh, budgeting groundwater. So part of our budgeting is actually lift the grade of the site and build above grade. There of course will be areas where we'll need to do some groundwater as we're doing the footings and the deep foundations for those structures, and those are absolutely in the cost.
Good morning, my name is Jesse Garcia. I'm a proud union carpenter, third generation San Diegan. There was a slide that was up earlier, I'm not sure if you guys can pull it up, but this project here, how many jobs will this create? And what is the financial impact that this project will have on the city of San Diego?
So I'm not sure in the interest of time I can get back to that slide quick enough, but we're excited about the job creation on two fronts. On the construction development front, the impact is well over 7,000 jobs over the course of the build out of this project. And when you get into the operation of this project, not just the arena, but the campus itself, which includes parks, various retail outlets, there's over 2,000 jobs that will be created as a result of this project. So we're excited about the opportunity, not only to address the deficiency in housing, the deficiency in green space, but of equal importance, creating jobs that will be permanent for this project.
Thank you. We live here, we build here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patty D.C. Brooks. I'm a resident of Mission Hills. I'm on the board of the Uptown Planners, I'm also on the board of the Old Town Chamber of Commerce. You kind of treat it like this is a district all by itself, when in fact the boundaries do not stop. Mission Hills is going to be affected by whatever happens here, as will Old Town. And I think, as you all should know, Old Town is the birthplace of the state of California, and it's kind of treated like a stepdaughter. We really want you to meet with us, the other districts, the other planning groups, so that we can work together rather than against. Would that be too hard to ask?
Not hard to ask at all. We are happy to spend some time with you, maybe right after this.
I loved it. Okay.
And figure out how we can further engage with your community and any other communities you might recommend.
All right.
And Patty, to add to that, you are correct. And our offsite improvements extend all the way down Rosecrans to the Old Town trolley station. So you're right, it is fully integrated.
But don't stop just at Old Town.
Yes.
first of all, I want to thank you for coming here on Sunday. This is quite a panel. I do notice who's not here, though. It's important. Chelsea, you should be up here on the panel, and so should the city administration. That's been negotiating this. Here's the deal. The DA, which has been approved, identifies, if you do the math, basically 5 phases for the delivery of the affordable housing. But really, there's the exclusion that if you can't get the competitive financing that you'd be applying for, you can put that off. Question is, you've got 11 different parcels out there for residential structures. When is the actual delivery date for the final affordable housing? And to the audience, what we're talking about, there is no sure date for the 2,000 or 2,000 affordable housing units. When is the housing going to be delivered?
I really appreciate that question because it is important. The housing needs to be delivered first, and it will be. So there's also, in addition to the DA, there is a DDA that is still being negotiated with the city that has not been public yet, but will be public soon and going forward to LUNH. And it does describe out deliveries and ties of those deliveries. It's been something that the city has been very concerned about. I am answering the question, sir.
What's the date?
The affordable housing will be, thank you. The affordable housing will be delivered in the first phase along with the new entertainment center. Well, if we can break ground in 2027 on the infrastructure, and that work takes 24 months to provide pads to start building the vertical affordable housing, then we will be providing the affordable housing after that construction schedule.
Okay, we'll be taking questions from the folks in the audience. Please do not yell questions. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Eric Lund, the chairman of the Peninsula Community Planning Board. I represent the bulk of the Peninsula residents. You have never been to my planning board. You've never met with my people. We've come to your events, and you've never answered our questions. You have filed a brief on the unmitigation or lack of mitigation of the traffic issues that would be the blocker for the existing 50,000 residents, and yet we plan 50,000 here. What's your plan?
Answer. There's a question there.
There's the answer. You're not going to.
Do you guys have a response to his question?
Well, please allow him to state a question. We would love to answer it.
So there's going to be 50,000 more people put on here, 20,000 more cars. You have done nothing to mitigate the traffic issues. What is your plan to mitigate the traffic flows for 50,000 people and 20,000 more cars on and off the peninsula? Not just in and out of your neighborhood, okay?
I mean, so I did present on a lot of different things that we're doing for transportation, not just vehicles, but multimodal as well. As I mentioned, we need to not just have access for vehicles, but access for people who want to travel differently than there is today. And so, yes, there will be traffic that will be generated to this site, but a lot of people want to travel differently to the site. We are going to be providing a lot of capacity increasing intersection improvements to the major intersection that is access to the peninsula as well. There are traffic improvements.
Okay, thank you for that.
Can you, I'm gonna stop this right now.
for a moment? No, really. There are a lot of, can you please raise your hand? Because I don't know if you're in line to make a comment or a question, or if you're okay. So there are a lot of people who have comments, questions, and that is exactly why we have limited it to 30 seconds. We also have stations, which they will explain, which I'm hoping that we'll be able to get to. The presentation that they gave was amazing, a little on the longer side with the flow that we're going today, so we're trying to get to everybody. That's number one. Number two, the reason why it is important for everyone to not yell or boo is because people want to hear the answers to these questions, including myself. So I need to understand the answers to some of these questions. So once again, I'm going to ask that we are respectful so that we can all stay here and listen to the answers to these questions. And if you're not able to do that, then you are welcome to leave. Thank you. Yes, you may clap. Next question.
Hi, Paul Graham, San Diego, Point Loma. I'm concerned about the financial situation on this property and the city not getting what they should, because the property is going to be under the Land Surplus Land Act. It's going to lower the values and taxes on construction done here, which means that it's under market rents. It'll also take a long time to do this project. The city makes about $2 million on rent on this property per year. Could you please tell me what the floor area rent, the floor rent will be on this property when it starts?
Paul, thank you for that question. Those details are still being negotiated with the city, and they will be made public before the Land Use and Housing Commission meeting.
My name is Cindy Lambert. I'm a native San Diegan. In fact, I grew up about a quarter of a mile from here. I am very aware of what goes on in this neighborhood. That aside, in your discussion of the history of this project, you have completely failed to acknowledge the Court of Appeal ruling that detailed in 70 pages of the inadequacies of your EIR and the response, instead of correcting and improving and completing a proper EIR for the people of San Diego and the people of California, you've developed a corrupt political SB 958.
So I'll just go ahead and correct the statement that was just made. The Court of Appeals was opining on an EIR that the city put together. That is a different document than our EIR, the EIR that Ryan presented today. And that is just true.
My name's Michelle Jeanette. I have one leg in the union and one leg in the environment. So I'm in the middle, by two things. I mean, I think you need to kind of listen and adapt to some of the things. One is the height, and two is the affordability. Because Newsom, the Environmental Act is pushing back because of the oil drilling or the height. I don't want it to look like Miami. Affordable, my friend is here with me. He's living in my driveway. He's a Claremont person. And what is affordable? He makes $2,000 a month, Social Security. He cannot get into the senior apartment. It's $1,700. That's affordable in the senior apartment. Could you have something to help the homeless people? Because otherwise you can't take the trolley because they're ODing on fentanyl and they stop the trolley.
Yeah, and once we finish this Q&A, I'd love for you to come see us. Two Chelsea representatives, affordable housing representatives, are here. They're going to be at the housing station. My eyes aren't too good. It's one of the ones, right over here. So please bring your friend and come talk to us.
So we need to talk geography. It's already been discussed. There's 50,000 people on a peninsula that bottleneck into this area. The scale of this project is radically too large for the area that it's serving. You already have Rosecrans as a parking lot most of the time before this project comes in. Barnett is going to be affected by Navarro, which hasn't been discussed. And I have a couple questions. Number one, these are lipsticks on a pig, these parking, and you, please answer, why isn't there a freeway off-ramp being put into the project, number one? And number two, if anyone were to have a relative down Rosecrans who ever had a medical emergency or a natural disaster, and you're bottlenecking all this stuff with tens of thousands of more traffic, how are people going to get in and out of the area?
So, as I mentioned earlier, there are improvements to the intersection where the peninsula has to access the freeway. Providing a freeway ramp to the site is not going to resolve the issues. Adding more lanes is not going to resolve the issues. As Ryan mentioned, we have a housing crisis in this state. Maybe you don't all agree. You all seem to agree that we have an affordable housing crisis, right? And so affordable housing, as we build it, we can't just provide another lane on a freeway, another signal, you can't increase capacity to the same degree that you're adding housing. You have to provide the options. There's so many studies out there that show if you add another freeway, if you add another lane, you're just going to provide more options for people to drive. You heard me when we talked. Yeah, when I talked about options, you heard people cheering. People want other options. I moved to San Diego 10 years ago, and I told my coworkers that I was going to start taking the bus and I was going to sell my car. They laughed at me. They said the transit system is crap, you can't do that here, and people want to do it and they can't. This project will be providing those options. I understand not everyone wants to take their bike or take transit, but some people do, and you want to get those people off the road so that you can have more space to drive if you'd like.
Excuse me real quick. I don't mind if you yell at me. Yell at Shelby all day long. Amy here, she's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a granddaughter. Hold on.
No, ma'am, we outlined earlier. No, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. We outlined earlier that we're trying to have a respectful dialogue here this morning. And in that respectful dialogue, we've created an opportunity for individuals to engage with us directly via Q&A. We ask that people not shout from the audience or be disrespectful to others. We're happy to listen to you. That's not the question at hand. We're simply just asking to be respectful of one another as we're talking here. Thank you. Understood. Noted. Let's get back to being respectful and have a civil dialogue with each other, please. I hear you. Next question, please.
So we have about 5 minutes left. So that means about 5 more people in order to ask their question and get their question answered. Everyone after that, please we have comment cards at the tables. You can also contact our office, but I just wanted to make sure you know where we are with our time.
Don't break us apart. Let us ask the question.
So in the first version of this redevelopment, there was a new freeway on, right? And I work up in biotech up north, as many people do in San Diego, and I sit every day coming off that 5-8, trying to get into Point Loma with all of the traffic going onto the 8. So I really would like to hear what you're basing that decision on, that having an additional freeway on and off would not help alleviate some of that traffic, because I strongly disagree.
As I mentioned earlier, so what you experience today is because everyone uses the same access point. And our plan is distributing that access further along the 8. It is underutilized to access this site, and we'll be making significant improvements to the access from the 8. So providing that off-ramp is basically...
I'm asking specifically about the 5, to be clear.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant from the 8.
North-south, all the traffic going into biotech, our biggest industry in San Diego, tons of people who are commuting there. I'm talking about on and off the 5.
I don't think that was ever originally in the plan or in the community plan update. It's not.
Why not?
I mean, there's requirements on freeway access point interchange density, so you can't be as close. There's spacing requirements, otherwise that affects the freeway.
I'm hearing that you don't know the answer to that question, so this probably be great to have.
Sure, I can explain for you.
I've got to change what I was going to ask. A couple of things. One is that you're talking about using public transport. We live in Loma Portal. My wife tried to commute from Loma Portal to the Solar Turbines, 2 miles for 45 minutes. You are saying we can use public transportation, but you don't control MTA. So that's one thing. Number 2 is I'd like to hear what's going on with Spa War and their development, how much you're integrating with Spa War, because that's another massive job, 55 acres. And I don't want you guys working in the vacuum and not talking to those guys. So can you address the Spa War?
Sure, so point 1, sounds like you wanted to hear about our coordination with MTS. We have been in coordination with MTS. There's already 2 local routes that run to the site. MTS and Sandag have it in their budget to provide the rapid route, and the site is providing a daily shuttle. So that will be less than 10 minutes between the time that you arrive at Old Town and when you see a vehicle that provides us access to the site. In terms of SPAWAR, NAVWAR, however we're calling it, that has been accounted for in terms of all of our CEQA studies. That has been, that's basically part of the baseline conditions and cumulative conditions for our studies. So it has been accounted for.
I'm Bill Joyce. I'm the chairman of the San Diego Senior Residence Council. I want to ask the senator one question. We all moved into affordable housing. In 6 months, we got an 8.8% increase. We would like the state legislature to work on capping rent increases for seniors to COLA. There's no checks and balances for developers like Chelsea and property managers, and we have fought for a year for safety issues. Up on the chart, I see no ADA parking. They gave us 17 spaces for 170 seniors. Also, I didn't see anywhere on that chart security. Our little development, a mixed-use community, we have asked for on-site security to follow guidelines. We've got kids with e-bikes going down ramps. Security has got to be an issue. I didn't see it addressed.
So thank you so much. As I stated at the beginning, this is a conversation specific to Midway Rising only. I completely understand your concern. Right behind you is one of my staff members. Please talk with him to give him your ideas and concerns for future legislation. We'll allow anyone from the Midway Project to discuss the issue of yes.
There are plenty of ADA parking spaces per the requirements of the city.
Yep. And then to the point on security, in terms of the operation of Midway Rising within the 4 corners of the site, that will be operated by the Midway Rising team. Ultimately, that will not be considered a city park. That has 2 key components there. We're not putting a burden on further city resources in terms of managing those 14 plus acres on that site. And it also allows us to put forth our own operational and security teams to help address comments like that gentleman just said about public safety. So the site will be operated by our development team when we proceed into operations. It will be responsible for maintenance and security of the site in perpetuity.
My name is Jean Fisher, and I live at the Archer. And I've been there for 16 years. And yeah, at the Archer. But I'm so, yeah, across the street from here. I can't even remember the name. I've been there so long, but anyway. And this last year has been horrible. Like you would not believe. What? Okay. That has been the worst ever for driving and parking. Horrible. And I want to invite. I would like to be to one of your meetings once a month, and I will let you know with what you're doing with parking here at the Orchard here coming and making sure you're doing everything the right way. And then I just want to thank you too, because this has been very difficult for me to say. I think I got the wrong numbers too, but I live right across the street from there. And so thank you. And I look forward to hearing from someone that wants to take.
Jean, we appreciate your comment, and we are looking to be good neighbors and to improve that situation. So we look forward to further discussions with you.
Well, I want to thank everyone so much. Unfortunately, we are over time with our Q&A portion, but we're not done today because, as has been stated by a couple of times, we do have some booths, and the Midway Rising team will come back up and explain who is at each booth to continue to answer your questions. We really appreciate all of the questions and concerns that have been addressed today. It's always very important to hear about different opinions because whatever happens impacts all of us here in San Diego. I really want to thank you for coming, and at this time I'm going to turn it back over so that they can explain each of the booths that you see behind you. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So again, we want to continue this dialogue with you. So the format that we're now moving into is what we call our open house type format. You'll see behind you and to your left and right various different stations that touch on elements of the project. We've got our environmental analysis to your right, as well as transportation directly behind you, the entertainment center and housing, and then to your left, a station regarding the economic development aspects of the project. We welcome you to continue to engage with us here this morning, but again, more importantly, even going forth from here. So at each one of those stations, there are comment cards where you can also put your contact information into that comment card. You'll be entered into our database. So as we continue to engage with the community, with the public, you will be notified when we have presentations, when we have gatherings. Again, thank you all for coming out this morning. We appreciate the dialogue, whether you're in approval or opposition of the project. This is a fruitful dialogue nonetheless. We look forward to continuing this at the workstations, and then we'll come back and wrap thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for what you said.
No, I'll wait till I'll take some wheelchairs up there.
Wearing their orange shirts, not even realizing they're slaves for government. Living slaves for government. Government tells them to do, they'll do it. Government first. Big government. Govern me harder, Daddy. Govern me harder. That is all this is about. Exactly what it wants to be. Govern me harder, Daddy. Big government taking over. Wake up. Use the last no black. This is tax council. Wake up. My fellow tax council.
You've got Cypher, you've got Chelsea Group. They don't even care about the San Diego seniors. These developments have no cold water, nothing whatsoever. Pedophiles in their buildings. They build, collect their paychecks, and they're out of here. I'm telling you, a lawsuit's coming, and we, the people, by the people, will serve all these shady, bogus companies, and it's coming. We need all your help. We need this message to be circulated and made viral. There will be a town hall with proper steps to take these Cyphers and these Chelsea groups out of here. Kick them out of here. They don't belong in San Diego. They don't care about the people. we're doing this. Take a look at this. This is all paid speakers, all paid employees. These poor unions don't even know. They have no clue that they're being used. They're being used as voices to help these shady builders build their projects and then get out of San Diego. And we, the San Diegan taxpayers, have to deal with the bullshit like Mount Etna Apartments. Perfect living proof that Chelsea Group and Zypher built that project and they didn't even care, give a damn about the seniors. The seniors are still over there with units without hot water. Who does that as a developer? Who does that? You build and you let the senior citizens of San Diego sit here and suffer after your big monstrous projects get built? You gotta be kidding me. Everything will be exposed in San Diego with these two developers that are now trying to build this monster project here for gazillion-dollar paychecks. No infrastructure. MTS is going out of business. Everything is public information. Go look at where MTS is right now. And they're trying to tell us bike lanes are gonna get us out of Midway? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Everything will be exposed, I'm telling you. Turn around. Look who's here. Look who's here. Hi.
Hi.
Look. Look at this. What a joke. What a joke. What a joke. Look at this. They didn't allow the public to speak.
Go find that transportation lady.
Look at this. They allowed about 10 to 15 speakers from the public to shut it down. This isn't a
This is obviously the city of San Diego website.
Can I ask you guys a question? Like about because you work for the union, so would you be a builder or like somebody that would be building the project?
Yes. Yeah.
Does it concern you about like the water level here, the water table? That should that be something that we, I mean, even if you're building up, wouldn't that potential for it to sink? I mean, is that? I mean, I don't know. You guys would be ones that, if you're doing that, is that something that, you're concerned about? Or do you just more think about, having a job and building it and that's not your concern because you're not doing that part? You know what I mean? You're just doing your part, which would be to construct.
Obviously, when we get to the site, obviously all that would be already taken care of, the engineering, all that would be taken care of by the time we get there. All that would be already handled, you know what I mean? As far as all the environmental tests that they would need to do, all that would be already figured out by the time we would be there, as far as...
Did you guys build in this area a lot? Have you? I mean, just because it is old marshland or whatever, so I just didn't know if you experienced anything building in this area.
We built in Liberty Station, but honestly, I really haven't done new work in this area.
Has it been dry?
Yeah, it's already been dry. Yeah, it's been dry.
So I mean, I would assume that's why you guys would be excited about something like this, right? I mean, because it's work for quite a while.
Yeah, it'd be a new project, keep a lot of, because we live here, so we want to build here, yeah.
Are people leaving because of,
Yeah, a lot of people are going out of other state.
Because there's more. Right, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
saddest thing, because when it comes to being equitable and inclusive and having sustainability, it's all a scam, man. It's not sustainable. It's not equitable. Who can take those bike lanes? We're going to have less lanes. We're going to have more Waymo drivers. It's going to be ridiculous. And the thing is that people are contributing to their own enslavement.
No, I hear what you're saying, but if it goes up regardless, these are the guys you want building it. They're trained. It's all about safety. It's all about family.
Well, it's going to go up.
They are. They go through 8 years of training. It's going to go 8 years of training.
The reality,
they are the doctors that build it.
Yeah, the reality is it's going to go up, but it's just that it's so sad that a lot of people don't realize that. Like, let's give it that extra, whatever we can to tell the man. But they don't work for us. They work for globalists, and we're still, and they got us fighting each other. So that's the reality.
These guys are residents too. They're residents
I'm not questioning that. I'm not debating that. I'm just saying they're further enslaving themselves because they think, oh, I'm going to have a job for how long? How long are they going to have a job for?
Well, at least 2 years right here.
Okay, well then 2 years, then what?
They move on to another project that builds.
Well, then that's
down like
yes. And guess what? Do you know what the United Nations agenda for the 21st century is about? Okay, so they will have a job as long as government continues to do this, because that's what this is all about. This is all about the United Nations for the 21st century. Do you know who Klaus Schwab is? Okay. No. He is the leader. He was the leader of the World Economic Forum. His saying is, "You will own nothing and you will be happy." Please do your due diligence, do your research, and know that this is like. Have you ever seen those movies when the people are like hollering, "Hey, they're trying to take over. They're trying to do this." This is happening now. It's not a Hollywood block. This is happening in real time, and people who are saying the truth, we sound like meanies. But the reality is that we are totally paying for everything. And they're so masterful with how they manipulate and they orchestrate that they have us fighting each other. Like you see, I'm just saying, hey, govern me harder, Daddy, because that's all that's happening. You know, it's kind of like, woo! So.
Well, I appreciate you having a say. I just want to defend them and say, if this building goes up, these are the guys you need to build it. You know?
Well, I don't question the skills. I don't question the skills.
But it's these guys
you
need to build it.
Challenge what's being imposed.
And as
you
you
know what
should.
I'm saying? It's not,
as you should.
You're my brother. You're my sister.
Yeah.
You're my. We're all. Unfortunately, I hate the saying, but we're in this together. But a lot of people don't realize just how fucked they're being, and that's the reality. But I don't question, like I said, I don't question your skills. I don't question who's putting it up. The United Nations Agenda for the 21st Century, look it up. It's happening now. We are witnessing it in real time. You will, I was just telling her about Klaus Schwab, the leader of the World Economic Forum.
driving stuff.
You will
I'm on board with you 100%.
Okay, so that's what's happening now.
Saving the climate,
and they do it
planet,
incrementally.
by
That's
way
what
of...
government time. Incrementally, they do it incrementally because imagine if they just laid this on us, we'd be like, no, there'd be a revolution. So, but they do it bit by bit.
Just protecting them again, just saying if they don't build it, they're going to bring in people who are not trained, who are brought across the border. They're going to contribute to this issue that you're talking about. So these are the guys who want building it. These men, they've done 8 years of training. They're the doctors of building San Diego. Yes. No. So I just want to go with you. When you want somebody building, you want the union carpenters because they're trained and they're talking to the politicians. They're doing all that kind of stuff.
You know, essentially they're getting
super safe.
They're being used essentially. You guys, union workers, we're all.
But they're not being used as bad as the people who are brought in and who are not trained and who are exploited. Well, that was kind of what you mentioned across. Yeah, exactly. So the people who were against people crossing the border, see, that's another can of worms. They were not racist. They were too in line with why you're exploiting them. You know what I'm saying? But yet the narrative to keep us divided, to keep us fighting, is you're racist. You're a Trumper. You're a blah, blah, blah. So the union's job is also to protect the exploited.
That's what the propaganda mainstream media delivers, and it feeds the people who are not paying attention. So when you aren't paying attention, you're just going to consume whatever shit they're feeding you. So that's why this whole production and this whole, they never listen to people. If you pay attention to any of the city council meetings, they never pay attention to the people. And do you see how they fork-tongue their words and how they find, it's like a script, they know what to say, they know how to get out of whatever question. They didn't answer any questions. The people had concerns. And they weren't like me. I was just being a big mouth in the background, but none of their questions were legitimately answered. You know what I'm saying? And so
specifically, just give me one example.
Well, actually, I can give you a few. There were several
just
people.
One. Let's just try to focus on one thing because we get so spread out.
Just regarding the traffic, regarding all that. But I know the answer. I know the answer is, and they didn't give him the answer, was you don't have to worry about traffic because at that point there'll be VMT. You know what VMT is? VMT is vehicle miles traveled. They are imposing that. Well, it doesn't matter because they're going to impose it on you and they're going to penalize you for driving. That's why the gas hasn't gone down. That's why they're narrowing our driving lanes. That's why they're implementing all these unused. It is all, I know it's a separate issue, but it's all under the same umbrella. That's why they keep implementing these bike lanes that, I'm sorry, quite frankly, only the crackheads use.
I'm using them. I'm not a crackhead.
Oh, sorry. No, but the thing is, they're not equitable. They're not equitable.
So you're absolutely wrong about that.
No, I am. My husband's disabled. He can't use those bike lanes.
I understand.
My 80-year-old father can't use those bike lanes.
But there's a lot of us who can. And if we don't make
chatting with
can I make this?
Thank you so much for questioning. Keep questioning.
Oh, I do more than question. Believe me.
But, okay, I have a lot of people, I know a lot of people who don't ride because they didn't feel safe on the road. Now we're having areas where we can ride and feel safe. So there's a lot more people using them. And it looks like there's not many because it's every once in a while, but if you sat there and counted how many people...
It's a nanofraction of the county population.
There's a certain population who are physically capable, and because they are not feeling safe, they weren't using them. And now we're getting more and more people starting to use them.
It's okay, it's great that you have an option to use them, but when they're being forced and imposed, like that's your only choice.
I don't want it to be forced.
Exactly, that's what they're doing, and that's why they're going up everywhere.
How can you prevent that?
Well, people can start showing up to like Sandag and to the county board of supervisors and to their city councils and just be like, yo, because in actuality there's more of us.
That doesn't stop them from building things. People want to live here.
I know, but the thing, no, I'm not saying stop building, but go with what the people of the community want, not what the globalists want. Right now, they're all working for globalists. They're not working for you or me. And yet we're paying for it, So that's where people are just kind of like, they're happy momentarily because you got that instant gratification of like, we have a job for 2 years and yeah, great. And then, that's what is happening. Like, just remember me in 10 years. It's happened incrementally. You know how government works bit by bit, and these union workers will be given a job. This demographic, this small percentage, will have a job, and they'll be prosperous because of an agenda, a globalist agenda. But in turn, it doesn't come without consequence. It doesn't, because they are essentially compromising the futures of their children, and our kids don't even.
So if we build this place and we have union workers working here, it require a living wage, then it is accomplishing something other than just myself as a carpenter having a job.
Yeah,
if my children can come down here and work.
But guess what? None of the people that need homes are going to be able to live in that hard work that you did. The people won't be able to afford it. The seniors.
My children are renting because it's unaffordable.
Exactly.
But how does any of this affect that? What can we do to change that?
How do you want to chime in and how this affects it? Because she's also somebody who pays attention and goes to every single meeting and knows exactly how in lockstep every government agency within our county is in lockstep, and it all connects. So
I mean, honestly, the only way you stop it is for people to stop engaging in the same behaviors that have perpetuated the issue by One, we've allowed the government to get out of control because but they've made it that way because they want people to be busy so they don't pay attention, right? So they can do business as usual, get things done, don't worry about the community. We represent them, right? And then it's like they can, present something really nice is what they do. But at the end of the day, it's like there's plenty of homes. There's over an excess. It's an affordable issue. So it's not that and it doesn't matter if they build more affordable homes every time, they're still not affordable. And it's these developers, people that come in and do it, are the ones that benefit, while the cost goes down to the people because the city's constantly changing all the regulations and policies on a revolving door basis. And so it's like, by the time this gets completed, I'm sure there will be plenty of changes that are going to impede its ability to get done. And so one of the questions the guy they didn't answer was, when is the affordable housing going to be there? Because that is a concern of people, right? And if by the time it's there, what's affordable they claim today is going to be way more expensive then. So we continue to perpetuate this because we're allowing them to continue to do stuff like this. Because if you look at their paperwork, it'll say 3.94 billion or something, right? That's where you can start to pay attention. Why are they doing it? Because they are set to make billions of dollars, right? So it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is promise the people that you're going to be providing a park and parking and this entertainment center. But at the end of the day, homeless people aren't going to be able to stay there. We have a homeless issue and they make money off of them as well. And that's what's so sad is that these people want to get off the streets. They stick them down in Balboa Park at Tent City, and they're more, probably going to die before they get out of there because nearly over a few dozen people have died there, and they haven't done anything to stop it because they make money off of it. So they do.
They get federal funding, sir.
Well, not only, maybe they're making money and everything,
it's very
but
lucrative.
I also see the people as a problem. The guys that are living down there, women and the guys that are living down there are using drugs sometimes, not all of them.
Sure. But they're giving them pipes and needles.
So that's how they're dying.
Sure.
I'm Mike.
Mike Consuelo. Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Consuelo. And just to let you know,
Consuelo.
that is a result of the system. That is not their issue. That is a result of the system.
I mean, if you're giving them pipes and needles, you're incentivizing that behavior because it's a business to keep them in that perpetual state of homelessness, not to help them get out because you don't make money when they go away. Right? It's just like healthcare.
Really, it is healthcare, though. Otherwise, what are they going to do?
Well, here's the deal.
They want to get into some kind of housing or shelter, but they promise things that they will never get. They get these caseworkers that are supposed to help them get into housing, and they can't because they keep switching their caseworker, right? So that point in time keeps getting pushed further back, so they're taken advantage of.
And
they do, or even
allocated for that.
Sure, right. But one thing that they did was when people came across the border, immediately they got housed. So how is that fair to people who have been waiting and have been told that there's these opportunities? So I'm just saying, all of these problems continue because we allow them to take our money, mismanage it intentionally, racketeer with it basically, and then do these things. And I understand, you want a job, of course. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to deny that, of course, right? And so you kind of become the enemy because the government uses you guys as well as almost like a scapegoat to be like, they're the ones building. You know what I mean? It's like, whoever, don't look at us. And it's like, no, the government's to blame. And we need to be holding them accountable and being like, instead of coming at each other, what they love to do is have us be hating each other instead of looking at them.
I don't hate people.
No, I know, but a lot of people are hateful towards others. And because of the politicization of what the government does. And so they want you to be on left or the right? And it's like, no, it should be understanding. It's us and them.
We need to understand that we have to understand the problem, and that's why I'm talking to you, because I want to see what other people are talking about.
Sure, absolutely.
And definitely work together on, because I understand who you're speaking of is who's dividing us and everything.
Yes.
I agree 100%. What can I do?
That's what I mean. We would not play into that, but also that's the sad thing is that
so
it's
I don't play into the hate. I don't play into the division.
But
if somebody makes sense, I listen to that and that make my best decision.
Sure.
If these guys have a decent solution, you know, people want to live here.
Sure.
There's not much we can do about that,
Sure.
you know. So when progress begins, you know, we want to have at least a responsible way of creating that new area.
Sure. Well, and that's another question where, you know, outside of, you know, you building it and wanting the job, do you look at the concerns of the community as far as like that this is marshlands and that there's water that, you know, potentially is going to be affecting this site? It's like we're going to spend all this money to do it, you know, and I feel like even raising it above, it's still going to sink. So does that not concern you? I mean, Absolutely. As a builder, like, have you built in marshlands before where you're aware of these type of,
I
you know,
interior buildings, so I don't.
Okay.
I'm not
the
aware
exterior,
of all
right?
That. But I am, I recycle, try to buy less packaging, you know, buy organic food. And this is what I spend my money on. Also, I'm not engaging in commercialism. I don't need much. I mean, the hat was given to me, the shirt was given to me, and you know, I'm not buying anything. I'm trying to get rid of my, you know, things. You know.
Right.
I'm sure you guys are probably aware of that. And you know, what else? You know, composting. Trying to do all the things to protect our. What I'm getting at is trying to protect the environment.
Do your part. You are doing your
Yeah.
part, yeah. And the thing is, too, I want to get back to something that you mentioned, or something that it brought to my mind regarding just how our government works. There was a program back in the day, it was called Project 25, and it had 100% success rate of getting people off the streets into their homes and getting a job and going on with their lives. Do you know that that project was defunded by our government? Because as Audra mentioned earlier, it's not in their best interest to have people successful, and so that you can
they
look
need
it up.
dependence.
Don't believe me? Look that up. Project 25. It was defunded. It was just like, yeah, it works. Sorry.
Yeah, I can believe you.
Yeah, and that's how sick and twisted our system is. It's like they're not incentivizing people that are actually
I'm really
helping.
agreeing. I think we're on the same page on a lot of that stuff. I'm not sure what I can do to make a difference in all that, other than help people when they need help.
Well, I mean, even talking about it, because I think people need to be aware of its, you know, in our acquiescence, we allow this to perpetuate, so we're no different than the people doing it if we're acquiescing to it. You know what I mean? Like, we should be going, no, we're not going to do this. Like, we're not going to allow you to, you know, spend our money on things like that. I mean, we should not be like living, I mean, everything around us with the amount of money that they have, we should be living more abundantly than we are. But they're creating a dependent society. And it's really sad because it's like, I mean, of course, like, you want someone to help you pick up the pieces if you're having a hard time. But what if you knew that the people that were giving you the pieces that you're picking up were the ones that made you need to pick up those pieces? You know, and it's like, if once we see that, then we can step outside these constructs. We can live in a different manner. Our money can be spent wisely. And like, sure, you can, like, I would just say that the danger of putting something on this site is concerning. And this could go anywhere. It doesn't have to go here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys could go build it anywhere, right? And so it's like, but why do things when there's a danger? But if they're putting profit over people all the time, then that's going to be the answer.
It's not, doesn't consume
Correct, but I mean, the whole
what
parking lot doesn't have high structures on it. This is one old thing that has been here, and you know, it's not changed. All of this stuff is going to be a significant impact on every aspect of this property. Yeah, correct. And buildings, more infrastructure. Sure.
So
I
you're
mean,
gonna deny them be able to live here.
Why does it have to be here? They can live anywhere in San Diego. Again, do you know what I'm saying?
We
Like,
only have so much land here.
correct.
And we're trying to make it so that more people can live
Sure,
here.
but in a
if
dangerous.
If we try it here, you're going to say that. If we try it over by.
Well, I'm
Mission
just
Bay,
saying,
you're
like,
gonna say that.
I'm
So this is
trying
an
to
excellent
reconcile.
place that we can. I could ride my bike. I mean, I live in North Park. I can ride my bike here. It's 8 miles, 7, 8 miles.
I mean, with this being a marshland, it could potentially create a quicksand type of a situation, and all of the buildings could sink.
I don't think the engineers would allow that to happen. I would say that.
Over profit? You don't think that they would
Allow it to sink?
I mean, not like they're allowing it, but it's out of their control. Is the thing. People think that they can mitigate Mother
If you
Nature.
know a little bit more about engineering, you know that they go down to the bedrock. They find, it's not going to just sink.
We
It's
don't
not
know
gonna-
engineering, but we know corruption, and it doesn't matter how far you go into the bedrock. For the right price, they don't care about the bedrock.
And
I
people-
agree, they don't care,
Yeah.
but also engineers can mitigate that.
And they'll compromise their.
Nothing's permanent. I mean, it's all, we can tear things down again and build them again, tear them down, but,
Well, I mean, and of course you guys would love that, though, because that gives you a job. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, I don't mean, but I just mean that's something that's beneficial to you, because for me, I would be like, why do we have to do that? No, I know, but as a...
build something that's going to last.
Sure, but I'm just saying that it's still something that would give you, if they kept building and deconstructing, it would be beneficial to a builder. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying that would be true, because you would benefit, right? But for me, I would more want to go, well, why would we want to have to do that? I don't want to have to go, well, this is dangerous.
Less beautiful as it is, just for us to profit. I want my children. To
No,
have
I
a
understand,
place.
but
I don't want to create another landfill,
Right.
So that we have another place. That's
Our
our
children
backyard.
won't be
That's
able
our front
to
yard.
appreciate any of this. I was just thinking of something earlier about what you guys were saying about how much money. I was just talking to my husband about how many people die before they receive their Social Security. There's so much money. There's just kind of like, I don't know. That's my Dory moment.
Right.
No,
Well-
seriously. So there's an abundance of everything, sir. But they
Pardon?
love.
It's going to be recycled? Okay. Thank you. So.
Anyways, Mike. Well,
yeah,
we're just,
I mean-
trying to. There's a handful of people that are trying to inform the others and kind of wake up the others. Like, hey guys, this is not a good idea.
I feel like we're on the same page in a lot of.
Yeah, we are, and I appreciate your willingness to talk to us, you know what I mean? And like have a conversation, because I think a lot of people aren't willing to do that, and that's unfortunate, and that's why we're so divided too, is because it's like, why can't we just have a simple, and even agree to disagree? We don't have to agree on everything.
We have to be open. I'm trying to be open to whatever, if there's something that makes sense, that I'm willing to change my opinion.
Right.
Not like, it's a lot of it has to do with ego and pride, that too.
Right.
And positions of power. And a lot of these people are doing their best because they do want to climb up that political ladder. And so they're, okay, if you can accomplish this, if you can sell the people into being happy about this Midway Rising thing, then you get another, little...
further your career.
Yep. So it's a sick system.
Yeah. I don't know what we can do to, like you try to get people, like, I have land out in East County, but, there's no buildings on it, everything like trailers.
Exactly.
They're trying to get people out of those counties, and they're trying to get people out of the...
They haven't tried to get us out of there. I mean, we have a place.
Well, by way of fires, I will say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I lived on Vernon Reservation in 2003.
Look at Maui, they wanted all those people out of there. They got there.
I get you.
Yeah.
I totally get that too.
Just have it, like, I think too, like,
But if
talk.
if it burns down, it's not going to, it'll grow right back.
Oh, for sure. Well, it does. That's what
It's not
happened.
going to run us out.
No. I mean, it will run some out, and like eventually if you burned it so bad, you would, like a paradise type of a fire.
This area is prone, it's burned.
Well, that's the
again
thing,
and again
yeah.
and again, so you can expect it's going to
Of
burn.
course. Well, and everything is high fire zone. That's why I find them putting density everywhere is dangerous. Because and what better way to make people feel like there's too many people than to densely populate them and then be like, oh my gosh, we need to depopulate, because that's what they talk about. And I'm like, well, of course people are going to feel like that when you put them all together. Like if we're out in the unincorporated, right? You're like, you have space. You're like, it's great. You know, you're not like all up on each other. But when you densely populate like this, that's the exact like recipe to get people to go, oh my gosh, there's way too many people. We need to get rid of some. It's just the way that they think.
I feel 100%. I've heard that. You know that's bullshit. There's so much land. There's so much abundance.
But do you know what I'm saying? If you densely put people together, people get that feeling, right?
Scarcity. That's the thing.
So I mean,
this is nature. People want to live in communities. They want to live among each other. You know, they want to be able to walk to get their coffee.
Yeah, but it's certain. Like, have you been to New York? Have you been to New York? Because I mean, then all of a sudden it's like how they
have been to like Boston.
Well, where there's just like a lot of people, right? It's like a lot of people walking. It's like
downtown.
We can't even we don't even have the infrastructure for that. Like, you know what I mean? We're forcing people into that type of a lifestyle, walking and biking, and it's like, okay, but I mean, then all of a sudden, you know, that's why even.
Well, before we had cars, that's what we were doing.
Sure.
We were walking.
Sure.
We were also.
So why don't we go back to that? That's
well, but we shouldn't be forced. But we shouldn't be forced. I don't want to be forced to walk. No, but that's what they're doing. No.
They're giving us no other
Yeah, but
choice.
live here or go somewhere else. Why should people have to leave where they've grown up? Because people want to all of a sudden make you walk.
I mean, a lot of people can't ride or walk because, you know, they live too far from whatever. But if we allow it to, let's just stick to the conversation. You know, I mean, if we do make it a livable community where you can walk and everything, right now it's not very walkable here. You can, I mean, it's not that bad. You know, if we increase the density, then you can go back to walking to where you want to go and riding your bike instead of getting in the car.
What if you want to get in your car and drive, though?
Well, that's fine. You can do that too.
No, but they
Not
don't have
necessarily.
parking. I mean, they're making buildings. Even in La Mesa, they're making.
Well, you have to pay to park.
I live in North Park, so
and they're not. They're not enough parking spaces for all these.
Well, they're taking them away.
Yeah.
All the spots. So it's like.
Because more people want to live there. We don't have room.
No, because they say we're de-incentivizing people from driving. We got to change their behaviors. This is the way that they talk. They say we got to get them out of their cars. We have to get them out of their cars. We can't have them driving. That's not fair. I don't feel like I should be forced to.
If I say it, you know.
So it goes back to the saying of Klaus Schwab: "You will own nothing, and you will be happy."
I don't believe that. That's not the right way. You know.
But if that's what they're implementing, how do you feel about that? Like, would you want to stop that? Like, because that's Sandag and stuff.
I want to be able to ride my bike. I love it when I work only 3 miles from my house.
Okay.
I've ridden up to 18 miles to work, you know, but it's hard to do that every day if you're going up and down hills and everything. But it'd be nice to have a closer place to work, and you know, with that in mind, if you have a place like right here where you can have your home and your work could be within, you know, walking or riding.
Well, that's what they want, is for you to live where you work.
No, but you guys
I'm just telling you. No, these are the things that they're saying. No, I'm just saying.
15-minute cities? Have you heard of smart cities?
Yeah,
That's what's happening.
same idea. I'm just saying these are things that they're implementing.
Why don't you want to let it happen?
Well, no, because I don't want to be. They're forcing it. Is what they're doing. They're changing. No.
It's not available now.
Well,
Nothing
right.
else will be
But they're
available.
making that the new way of life.
It is.
If that's the new way of life and they got rid of the old one, sure, if it's an option. I'm all for options, right? Give me a menu with a ton of stuff. Don't give me two things, right? But they're not. What they're doing is they are acting like they're providing more while they're taking away. Okay, so they're like, we're taking away your ability to drive, but we're giving you the option that you can walk, bike, and take public transit, which you can't do here right now, right?
Exactly.
So I'm giving you more opportunities and options, when in reality, you're taking the one option I want. You know, it's like, which is to be able to. Are you sure?
In the future.
What about all the flock cameras?
Well, okay, I get it. Well, how are we going to prevent that from happening? Like,
Well, it's just.
We're talking about it,
unhappy
too.
with everybody. It's like, no, we have to mitigate what we don't want.
Sure.
And fight against that. But at the same time, I want a community where my child wants to move here.
Absolutely,
they can
right.
walk or ride their bike. And this is creating an opportunity. They can walk to their yoga class. They can walk to the grocery store.
Well, that's what they're creating.
Yeah. So what's so bad about that?
Well, I mean, even right now, like all of us would be paying to park if we were here.
We're not going to let
You're
them.
imposing things onto
We're not
other
gonna let
people who
them
don't want that
enforce it.
lifestyle. It is being
Well, but they are, and
They're
that's
already
the
doing
problem.
it. They've been doing it.
Because
So
nobody's
what's-
paying
so
attention.
What's the
incrementally,
solution then? Where do
Because
you
if
say?
you saw them doing it all at once, see, that's what the thing. I just mentioned it a couple times. They've done it so bit by bit. They've orchestrated it so well to where it's like, I love it. I am. Oh my God, I'm so far. What's wrong with it? It's kind of like, well, dude, that's not cool because there's a lot of people who can't benefit from what they're offering, and there's a lot of people that it's going to like, you know, that's why. It is
Not
crucial.
everybody's going to be able to ride their bike or walk
Yeah,
down
it
to
is
the beach.
crucial. My
from
husband
here.
cannot. My
Yeah.
husband is disabled.
But then you still have the option to get on transit or drive your car. They're not
But do you
taking
know,
that
I
away.
mean, that's the thing, though. It's just
Am I
kind of
right?
like.
Wait a minute. Am I right or not?
They're not
Are they
taking
taking
what?
away. You can ride your transit or you can drive.
They are taking the ability to drive away, yes, by more and more encroaching on giving us toll roads. Like they want us to pay to use every road. It's at Sandag. Of course you have it because you don't go to their meetings. They don't tell you this. Sandag is
this planning. Is there going to be toll roads?
not this. I'm talking about Sandag, which designs the infrastructure for the county.
This place.
Yeah, but we're talking about what they're implementing. You're saying they're not trying to impede our ability to drive. I'm telling you, yes, they are.
This project is not.
They're supposed to be.
Sandag is.
This project will
Correct,
compromise and create traffic, and therefore the people will be begging.
I guarantee
for, like,
there's funding coming
you
from
know,
Sandag going to this project in
that's
some
the
way.
thing. So they know
So
they're
they're
so
creating
seamless.
a problem to have a solution.
Yes.
Like we were talking about.
Hegelian
like
dialogue,
Schwab and all
yeah,
these
yes.
people are trying to-
But they're implementing these things, right? So, like, you go to the meet, and that's where they're saying we can't have them in their cars, stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I mean, give us other options, but don't take that away,
Well, it's
right?
just like, like in LA, then, making all the parking lots at the beach have to pay for parking.
Yes, that too.
So
Same thing. They're paying for
because
things.
There's so many people coming down there, you have to create revenue to somehow work out the problem. I mean, not that
But
they're
how does
doing
that
a good
work out
job.
the problem, though? Because they don't. They just ruins the roads. They don't fix the roads. And that's another thing. They're not fixing the roads like they should. They're spending millions of dollars on bike lanes, like $13 million on a mile of bike lane to nowhere. And they're like,
I know
well,
which
we'll
one you're
connect
talking
it
about.
later. And it's like,
our office is right down the
but we
street on
have
Governor
roads
Road.
that we can't even drive on.
Yeah.
Because, and it's like, that is mismanagement, gross, willful.
There's times when that happens, but
It happens all the time, every
like
day.
On my street, there's a bike lane now, and you can ride your bike on it,
Sure.
so that helped out a
But do you
lot.
think it should cost $1 million?
But-
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. That's where we got to go. Why on earth would you spend that much money on it? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like when they need $5 billion to fix the storm infrastructure because they have been neglecting it for decades, like 50 years. So it's like now we got to spend $5 billion because of your negligence, and you're going and you're spending like for green paint millions of dollars. Like you guys can't be trusted with a little bit of money. I feel like we need to give you less and you'll do more, because the more money you give them, the more they pocket it, the less you get. And it's horrific. So that's where it's like, we got to quit allowing that to happen. We're just allowing it. We're going, well, there's nothing I can do, so I'm going to just let you do it. And it's like, no. I mean, if I started taking money out of your pocket, you'd hit my hand and probably punch me in the face. Like, if I was a dude, who knows, right? I said if I was a dude, maybe. You know what I mean? But like, but we're allowing them to go into our pocket time and again, raise everything time and again. And it's like, what are you doing that we need to be giving you more money for at this point? I feel like you need to start lowering your paychecks when people are just suffering, and you're determining what the cost of living should be for people that aren't at the stature that you're at. I don't feel like you guys are equipped to be determining that. I think you need to have somebody that has lived experience that would say, yeah, this is a livable wage. Instead, you have people making hundreds of thousands of dollars that live in a house that they don't got to worry about paying for. You know, they get a car, they get all these allowances, they get health care, while people are going, man, am I going to eat or can I take my meds? I'm not sure. And so we're allowing them to do this. So we got to stop allowing them to do it. That's how it stops. But until people are ready to do that, they're going to continue to suffer. They're going to continue to racketeer off our money and engage in organized crime and benefit off the backs of people suffering. So when we're ready to be done allowing that, that's when it will change. For me, I live that out every day.
I'm not in favor of allowing that.
But what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Are you going to stand up and say, I don't want you to do this? Or do you just go about your day because you're going to get a job? But can you say anything? If you're part of the union and you would go against the city, say...
What's that again?
Like if you to do something, to stand up would be to like actually go to these public officials and say, I don't agree with that. Absolutely not. I don't consent to it. But you would be risking your job. And that's the problem, is a lot of people don't want to do that. They tiptoe around what goes on because they're unwilling to rock the boat out of concern that that job is so much more important than what's going on around us. Do you know what I mean? Holding them account and saying enough is enough.
But also at the same time, you know, I mean, what
But
just
they
throwing
got us
yourself
all by
under
the
the
balls,
bus
honestly.
is
They
not
really
going to
do.
do any good.
But is it throwing yourself under the bus? I think it's not. For me, I mean, I go and I face them all the time. I'm like, I'm not, because I don't want that on my conscience that I'm allowing them to do that. So for me, anything I do, even just like having conversations like this, is important, because then it's spreading out further, right? Where more people will know, and then eventually, and I see people getting more and more fed up as things are getting tighter and people's, really feeling the crunch. But eventually, they're going to be like, okay, well, they're the ones doing it. Quit thanking them for doing this to us. Understand that it goes across the board with everything, and I only know because I pay attention, and I've done it for the last 7 years. And it's like, if I wasn't, I would have no clue. Not a clue.
Can I ask you, what do you do for work?
Journalism.
Oh, yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't have the gift of gab. I couldn't do that work.
Right, and I don't have the gift that you got, right? And so I understand your
trying to do
desire
what I can
to
do.
work. I mean, I don't even shame you.
I have an 8th grade education. I couldn't do journalism.
That means that's good.
yeah.
You were not fully indoctrinated. That's great.
Well,
Yeah, good. Thank God you didn't go to high school.
I know.
I'm just kidding. It's
Or
all.
college.
It's not good. You know what I mean?
college, yeah.
But look at you. You've made it's not like you couldn't survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't I'm not shaming you for wanting a job. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want you to understand that it's like, we know that they use you guys, or any entity that it is that will benefit them, because it's like they need the people.
Journalism, big time.
Oh, big time. The media?
Well, yeah, but they also silence it. That's where it can be
Yeah.
hard. That's why being independent is so important, because I don't need someone telling me what I can and I can't talk about.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
It's
willing
tough
to
to get
skirt
that
over
word
the
out.
truth.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
You know?
because it's so the narrative. I didn't realize that until more recently. How much what you hear. I always thought, oh, NPR.
No. And then there's sound
We used
bites.
to be members.
There'll
yeah.
be sound bites.
KPBS.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the BS.
Right? Yeah. But I mean, but that's where it's hard too, because they control that narrative, right? So then you can shape what people know. That's why it's important to so I'll go to the meetings and I'll put it out there.
It took a minute to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
to
I
hear your
appreciate it.
point.
Yeah.
I appreciate your point.
I
And
was
your
trying to
your
talk to
work.
other people, and I just wasn't getting anywhere. But I overheard what you were saying, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I thought it was
sounds
interesting.
More like what I want to talk about.
I like that.
And the thing
I'm glad
too
you
is just
did.
like they have us all by the balls. You know what I'm saying? If I don't pay my property taxes, they take my house.
Yeah.
We don't own
And now they
shit.
put the trash on
You
it.
know? Now they-
What's that?
Exactly.
So it's
You know?
like,
So it's kind of like.
but billions of dollars on the trash cans that nobody needed, so they could put RFID chips in it, so they could track your trash usage. And we're like, what is that all about? Nobody needs that. We just need you to get the trash out of here.
The data centers is just like that's scary.
And the water that they take, and the power. So San Diego Community Power, I think
Clearly they're getting ready to really
they're going to
lock it
build
down
one.
like 2020.
Well, but they're going to build one, I think, and so that might be a benefit to you. Maybe we need to stay in touch so you can let me know if they start building one. I'm just kidding. But a data center, because the San Diego Community Power is changing their policies so that if the power goes out, that the data center will stay on and the people's power will go out. And I'm like, We don't even have a data center. So what are we talking about here? Or are you planning one? Because why would you change your policy if there was nothing there?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, so keep your eye open for that. That's probably somewhere in Otay area, right? Somewhere kind of
room for it there.
Yes. So it'll be interesting what happens with that. And it's like, I don't think you should be giving us no power and having that stay on. Like, it should be the opposite. Do you know what I mean? And we'll probably pay more for the power while they're getting all these discounts, you know, and taking up all the power. And it's like, and they talk about the power grid. It's like there's all these things where they like contradict their own narrative by saying we want to save the planet by bringing in all this green infrastructure that is detrimental to the planet. I just crap you not, like lithium batteries and just the mining for it. I mean, it's so.
Why having gone solar,
yeah,
waiting for the technology to be right.
But it's not. That's the thing. And so I'm like, you guys are sitting here acting like you're doing this to, and it costs so much money. Like the buses, they got a bunch of buses that were electric. They're not working that great, and it was basically a waste of money. And so
$18 million.
It's nuts how they like get in their own way. Like, and if they really cared about the planet, you know, about geoengineering and like weather modification. So they're literally manipulating our weather, spraying us with heavy toxic chemicals that's also nanothermite that's going to make a fire go out of control like nobody's business. And yet they say they want to save the planet. It's like, okay, but you're manipulating the weather. You're using ionospheric heaters and different things, like heavy metals being inserted into clouds so that it rains. Like the storm that happened in January of 2024, that was by SAWPA, the Santa Ana Watershed Project, Water Authority project or whatever. And so they were cloud seeding before, after, and during the storm. So this happens. They don't take care of the infrastructure, and we have a mess to clean up. And it's like, okay, if you cared about the planet.
No, remember the term they used, atmospheric river something? Atmospheric
yes,
river
yes.
something.
Atmospheric
like,
rivers.
They even made up a new term.
Yes.
It was just like all of a sudden, because we saw that, we witnessed it.
It's happening for millions of years.
Yeah, but they've been manipulating the weather for
I've
a long
never
time.
seen it in San Diego.
Because they say we're dry, it's too dry. And so we need to, you know, it's to help with the drought. And then they can't, you know, they move it around.
The weather pattern changes all the time.
Sure, but they do.
But they also
Do you see the lines in the sky?
You could see it. Did you ever see that episode of Brady Bunch where he made it rain? It's very.
Yes, please. Yeah, sounds good. All right, good to see you. Good job today. I was like happy that you were.
Well,
It's over
that was
the
a good
heads of
one.
so many people.
Even here in San Diego, there's history of a guy who did that in the East County. You got everything you need? You've heard of that?
Yeah, well, I want to.
I think I remember something like that.
No,
And it
we
just
were just
happened to be that
talking.
year. I don't know, it was like
In the
I don't
80s.
remember, or 70s.
But I still want to talk to you guys. Are you guys going to be outside or are you going to?
Yeah, I heard that.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
They
I'll
were
call
going to
you
pay him,
tomorrow.
and
All right.
he made it rain. It just so happened to rain,
All right.
but they didn't pay.
I know, yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a big,
Interesting.
long story about East County of San Diego. We filled all the reservoirs, filled Lake Marina with water.
With poo water. With poo water.
Toilet to
Poop
tap.
water. Yeah.
Toilet to tap.
Poo water.
No. This
Yes.
was a rain event.
Oh, okay. Well, the reservoirs are for poo water. Yeah. The reservoirs that they have are filled with poo water.
Which ones?
All of them.
Lake Marina? Oh, no. There's not enough people flushing their toilets going down there.
That's where they hold it. They're holding
It's water.
areas.
It's just water that comes off of the hills up there.
Are you sure? Well, I don't know. I just know the other ones, like most all the, because they pump it in there. I don't know. They could. Well, I mean, I guess not up there.
Come on, don't just make up
Well, I'm not sure where you're talking
you
about.
lose your credibility.
I'm not sure where you're talking about. I said the ones down here. The ones down here is what I'm saying. I don't know where you're talking about.
Yeah, Lake Marina is like at the top of the water table out here.
Okay.
Pumping proof.
Well, in the, like, what are the ones? Sweetwater. Like Sweetwater.
Reservoirs.
Those.
How about the Helix
and
water
Helix. Yes, all those. Like, those are, you know, and they're having people recreate
We
in
went
it.
to the forum. They were pitching it.
Yes.
Yes, there you
Yes.
go. And they were pitching it.
I'm just saying,
to
like
the
all of
people.
those reservoirs, like most of the, like in here, they're
They're recycling the water and pumping it into their reservoirs?
Yes, but then what they do is then they'll take that back out and give it to you as drinking water after people have rowed their boats in it and pooped in it as well. So it's cool. You know what I mean? But those data centers get fresh water because, you know,
we get poo water.
We don't need fresh water. Which is smart. I mean,
you know, it may be reclaimed water. Is that what you're talking about? Poo water?
They'll sell it.
yeah, the stuff in the purple pipe that they always told you not to drink, now they're telling us we're going to drink that, and they're going to put lye and stuff in it so they can dissolve bodies or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
There's so many issues, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's coming at you from all angles.
What? The answers are so simple. We just have disconnected so far from the earth and source and being in community, and we have allowed it, right?
Yeah, we've allowed it.
We've allowed it all. And we pay for it.
Yeah.
We pay for our own enslavement.
That's why it's like, think of it as like, you know.
But we're not ready to just go out to the property out in Lewis County and, you know, live off the land. It's not that easy either.
Well, they don't make it that easy because that's not what they want.
Oh, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, because they want you to be dependent. You know what I mean?
Because I totally agree with so many things you guys are talking about. I just don't know what the solution is. I don't.
Well, I think just
again, I think it's making people aware of it too. You know what I'm saying? To have those conversations.
It'll evolve organically, but things like this and the distractions and the people don't even know how screwed they're being. So,
but it's like talking about that. Do you know what I mean? Like having those weird, hard conversations where people are like, "Whatever, dude." But it's like I'm just telling you. You know what I mean? Like at some point we should stop. Yeah. Yeah, because we should stop allowing it, right? So it's like once you know, then it's what you do with it, right? So for me, I can't just hold on to it and be like, I'm going to put it back here in my pocket.
And then you'll start seeing it, Mike. Not for nothing. You'll start seeing like things will start like, whoa, like what?
Yeah.
You'll start.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I totally understand what you're saying about that. How we're just being, you know, take 2 steps forward, 1 step back in the process of what you're talking about.
Yes. And you give them an inch and they'll take 10 miles of bike lanes.
Beware of all the Mr.
Well, I think the bike lanes are good.
I know you do, yeah. But I mean, again, like not if it's taking away, like
makes the excuse that I don't feel safe on the road.
Sure. Well, yeah, and you should. But what if it was that there were only bike lanes, and all of a sudden we took them and made them car lanes, and all of a sudden there weren't bike lanes? You would be like, what the heck? We should at least have both, right? So it's like, that's where I'm saying they're taking away, but they act like they're providing more. So try and pay attention to that when you're seeing, like, the way they start talking about driving and what they're doing with our cars, how they want to implement like toll roads and all of these things where it's like it's encroaching on your ability because you're like, man, I already paid for the road. Why do I need to pay to use it again? Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And then parking, like you're like, holy crap.
I'll be on board with you. When protesting. Like,
all right. Good. I love it. And when I see you again, I'm sure I'll see you at the city at some point. Because I think you've gone there. Maybe.
I've gone to the city council
you look
meetings.
familiar.
So
not a lot. You know.
No, it's just when there's something. Yeah.
I just have one of those faces.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Hollywood.
But so like later, you know, maybe we'll revisit this and be together on some page and be like there to, you know, because, you know, but just keep your mind open.
Yeah,
for sure. And I can tell that it is, you know. I just always look at everything like it's inverted. So whatever they tell you, look at it from an inversion, kind of like, wait a minute. If you're saying this is for my safety, but it's doing this, I
get that.
I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm like, so don't tell me that. Don't try and placate me like I'm stupid. You know, and I feel like they do that because people aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And so enough is enough.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's so great talking
yes,
to you.
Mike, you too. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a great one.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Take care. All right. Yeah. See you soon. That was awesome. Well, I could do him one more time, actually. He's...
Sunset Cliffs. You can go down Harbor, but Harbor doesn't have and in an emergency, there's tsunami in addition to everything, right? Yeah. So the main sit here and right. So you mean? Well, it's so for an emergency evacuation. These are them. Okay. Main line of communication, transportation. You get on and off the peninsula, commute. It's here, and Nimitz feeds in, meets here, goes off on the right? Right. So this on-ramp here and this on-ramp down here both have to be upgraded. That was featured in the Navy EIS.
The unapproved one. The draft one, correct?
Yes, but the analysis is sound, and they're revising their EIS. We correspond with them for years. They've actually come and briefed us. We have an ongoing discussion with Greg Geisen, the project manager. They are very responsive, and we will see that EIS. They're consulting with us all the time. So this is I understand the project is here, but the project did not account for the NAVWAR, which is part of sequence. You have to evaluate.
The traffic analysis based on their and so that development program that they disclosed, although have not updated, there's numbers that are in that document that were in the response cycle.
They do not cover the off-ramps and on-ramps.
And so that's where the city's scoping process goes into place.
Right. And so this is the problem, is you've got your little CEQA boundaries drawn up. Convenient for you guys, I got it, but the CEQA considerations do not consider NAVWAR in the volume of what it takes to get out of here. So that's not considered in transportation.
How is that a word?
Right? You didn't consider that in transportation. You did not consider the increase in volume of commute and the impacts thereof.
There are two analyses that are included in as part of the city's and state's requirements versus the vehicle miles traveled, as you're aware. The second is the local mobility analysis that is done collaboratively with the city.
Yep.
So that analysis does look at the transportation as operations that you're referring to.
Yep.
And it does look at those intersections that fall within the city's scoping process.
And I don't dispute that you guys are doing what you're going to conform to law. Right?
Right, it's the project.
Yes.
The project.
And so I don't agree with you guys, but I don't disagree that you're trying to maximize profit because you're a business, right? I got it.
In this case, I'm a transportation consultant.
But
I don't have
okay. Each one of these things that is unmitigated by anyone, and so this is actually kind of the beef that it's not the beef, it's one of the several issues that we've raised for Senator Weber Pearson that have also not received a response. The city didn't respond. They said, look, the volume that has to go through here, taken like with these two projects taken together, greatly exceeds the infrastructure there. And to replace them or upgrade them to meet what's expected to be the volume is approximately $250 million per interchange. It's about that.
I can't speak to those particular estimates or
So,
your analysis.
interstate freeway interchanges are $120 to $250 million given the level of complexity.
Well, that's depending on the interchange is correct. And if it's something that is a component of either a project or a regional improvement, that I'm not going to dispute that. I think the question here that you asked, and I want to make sure I understand it correctly, is that there is trips that are estimated based on development. Those trips have to go on the roadway network.
Yes, it is.
Whether they are cars, bicycles, or pedestrians. Some form of distribution. And that then needs to be accommodated by the network writ large.
Yes.
And that is what the local mobility analysis looks at under the direction of the city. And so that is something that can be discussed in terms of how that analysis takes place. What are those key... And that's why we distinguish between vehicle miles traveled from a CEQA perspective and the signal and network operations from a city's local mobility perspective.
And we responded, so we had our civil engineers and traffic people look at it. we fundamentally disagree with some of the analysis. Right. That's fine. And we can have that discussion. No one has bothered to have that discussion with us. No one has bothered to respond to the issues that we pointed out.
I believe the project team is committed to discussing that.
I don't know. I hear words spoken in space. I have no one, in 4 years, no one has showed up on our doorstep to have a constructive conversation, right? I get an email copy of someone's PowerPoint slides, okay? That's it. And that's if I beg them. We're not primary addressees on anything. So this is an issue, that's an issue. The saturation of the networks, all the feeders, everything is an issue. We disagree with the analysis that has ongoing and the dramatic impact that it will have. So as you know, if the Navy analysis and theirs is, it's a little dated, it's probably worse than they've laid out. They said 45-minute commute will double without infrastructure enhancements. So it goes from a 45-minute commute to a 90-minute commute. You can do the VMT calculations and the carbon footprint of that. That is roughly the same as a commute from Point Loma to Temecula in terms of carbon footprint. Okay? So it's not a VMT, but it's a actual, tailpipe emissions unmitigated, right? And
it's whether it's mitigated or unmitigated. Right. Correct. That's what the CEQA analysis would look at. And so that's in the.
Thank you.
It's not at that level. Your Navy numbers and your numbers don't match, and they're not even close. They're an order of magnitude apart.
If you have a second, really quick, before Mr. Shelby is building the communication channel between the planning board.
Okay.
And he has.
Good afternoon. Eric, thanks for coming up.
And not to cut you off, but I was committed to come down to the planning board and speak to you. Or not maybe.
We'll certainly make some time. I think there was a few representatives that already came up to me. Gave them my contact information. I'm out of cards now.
Yeah, me too.
But
Sorry.
I asked them to get in contact with Jeff Meyer as well, and we'll figure out the appropriate time and place and come spend some time with you.
I have regularly scheduled both long-range planning committee and project review committees. It's more appropriate for the long-range guys.
Okay.
And they have certified professional engineers, architects, developers that are on them. That is my core group.
Okay.
That has for 4 years now been filing letters, submissions, going to
public.
Each planning event that's not held in our community, but go wherever they are.
The news was
and attempt to engage. We've received no constructive response whatsoever. In fact, our
well, Eric, can I pause you there for a moment?
Sure can.
Let's work on moving forward because I think both camps probably have something to say about the past. Let's focus on moving forward and figuring out an opportunity how we get together and go from there.
Okay.
So I think for the sake of this talk right now, as we talk, Shelby, is the most important thing right now is the communication channel and just grow this communication channel and figure out how the answers could be given to the communities. Because the communities come first. We all agree with that. Safety comes first. And first step is the elected individual here to speak for all needs attention and be respected that he's sending this stuff information. Accommodate everything that you need. Come to the community, and even whatever we need to do to make sure that you're accommodated. That's both sides of the fence. And I think if we can get to that level, maybe we can find how this is going to work.
Okay.
I think.
Sounds good.
Do you all agree with that?
Sure. I'm out of cards at this point, but I'm pretty easy to find.
Understood. Yeah. I'm sure we can find each other and we'll make this happen.
Right?
Okay. Thanks for coming out today. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks very much. Have a good day.
Good job, guys. It's exciting. You want to say something outside? You want to say something in here? What do you want to say? Tell us.
The senator to come out. She didn't take any questions, but at least she showed her face at this point. As a coalition of community groups, we're going to continue to persist, both to engage Senator Weber Pearson to try and see the light on SB 958, which doesn't just destroy our community. It's going to open up, excessive skyscraper development, the Miami Beach vacation or California coast. So we're going to continue to engage with her and attempt to make her see the error of her ways. And then, obviously we're working now we're trying to get the Midway Rising folks, that team, to hear the community, the input from the community that has been years running, that has been presented by the representatives, the elected representatives of the community planning groups, and has fallen on deaf ears to represent them, and we're going to continue to do so, right? So,
amen.
We're after this.
Yes, well, and so you'll have to let me know when your meetings are, and I'll come out and document it for you.
Okay.
So we can get more people's, so keep me posted.
Right.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, brother. You want to say anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll get something later.
All right, let me just close it out with that lady. She's... All right, you guys, so that was really interesting. I look forward to continuing to follow this as it continues to unfold and see what the city will be voting. Obviously, they're going to pass it, but just to see what transpires as time goes on and this building is replaced. So hopefully, they're going to be addressing the issues that have to do with the sinking of the infrastructure that is potentially going to happen. I have no doubt that it will. So what are they going to do about that? How many studies have they done to, know that if you put something on top of marshland, it's not going to sink? I don't know. And what, are they just going to wait for the disaster and then pick it up the pieces when they're done? Probably. So anyway, you guys, God bless. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday, and I'll be back with you guys again here soon. That's my sis. And stay classy, San Diego. I'm going to give you one more little nice insert of the demons that just want to make a bunch of money off of this, so they're going to lie. So here we go. Because she said it was invasive. It was aggressive. It was so aggressive to be sitting there and, saying that. So she likes to hide. So it's cool. All right. All right. Yeah. Shouldn't like it. It's aggressive. You know what I mean? In your face. In your face. It's so in your face. It's so in your face. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Yeah.
Something that you have not an answer for.
I know.
We'll revisit that. I'll visit that.
This is kind of aggressive. Are they allowed to do that? Are they allowed to?
Did you watch it?
Film in public? You know what I mean? Like, what's with this? Why is it this one? That is the problem.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. What the Flock Productions?
What's the Flock Productions? Oh, yeah. That's it.
Are you live?
Yeah.
It's ours. What the Flock Productions?
What the Flock Production? Oh.
Who flocks you better, baby?
Flock off. Okay. Okay. Flock you. Okay, let me end this. All right. That's enough fun for now. Anyway, that lady was being funny. She shouldn't like to be filmed. She probably shouldn't walk outside. Or probably get in her Tesla. Anyway, all right. Take care, you guys. Stay classy, San Diego. It's never a dull moment. God bless. See you guys again soon. Bye-bye.